Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy KCM What Ifs. Today we are gonna be reading Naruto, the Black Fox, or what if Naruto was killed and joined the Fox village. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Yeah, but it also means we have a mating season, said Naruto as Sakura looked up at him. What? Asked Sakura. Basically, I am the source of your headache, and until we mate or the season ends in 5 to 8 days. Also, the closer we are to each other the worse our headaches will be, said Naruto. Why don't you summon Katara? She will be able to explain things better than I can. With that, Naruto left the room. It was strange, when Naruto left the room Sakura's headache lifted. She listened as Naruto got dressed and left the bedroom and finally the house altogether. I guess I better summon Katara, said Sakura as she bit her thumb and ran those hand signs. When she was done, she slammed her hand against the marble floor as Katara appeared in a puff of smoke. What the? Asked Katara as she looked around to see Sakura sitting on the edge of the bathtub. Sakura, what is wrong? Monster headache, and Naruto-kun said it was breeding season, answered Katara as Sakura nodded her head. I can smell it. What does this mean? Asked Sakura. What you think it means? Said Katara. You are part demon fox, and that means going through what every female fox goes through once a year. A breeding or mating season. It's like your human period, but only once a year. My period was never like this, said Sakura as she rubbed her temples. It's like a consistent need to jump on Naruto and his brains out, asked Katara as Sakura nodded her head. It is a mating season, which means you can't stop of thinking of ways to the man you see as your mate. And we know who that is. Naruto-kun, answered Sakura. Also, you two must have synced up, said Katara. I can smell his too. Synced up? Asked Sakura. See, males also have a breeding season in which they want to the brains out of females, said Katara. Synced up is when a male and a female naturally time their mating season to match each other, that way they can solve each other's need. And Naruto's and mine are linked together? Asked Sakura. Yeah. See, when a female goes into heat, they release a scent telling males that they are ready to be taken by the male they choose, and males release a scent of their own, which is like a sign saying, I am the best fox in town and you and I would be perfect together, said Katara with a perverted grin. It is a good thing for when you two finally mate, it will blow your freaking mind. Mating season sex is the best sex. But what if Naruto-kun and I don't want to mate just yet? Asked Sakura. Then you will just have to fight it, like every other non-mated female fox, said Katara. But this is so bad, said Sakura, and Naruto and I need to work together in training. Well, it lasts only 5 to 8 days, but if you really wanted to end it, then just do it with Naruto, said Katara. The headache will go away once you two mate. Then how come Naruto acted so normally? Asked Sakura. Well, Naruto had a few more years' experience dealing with it, said Katara, but believe me, he is going crazy right now. Katara was right when it came to Naruto going crazy. He had gotten dressed, and the moment he walked out the door he started sprinting toward the massive track that was built just inside wall of the village to allow ninjas and villagers alike to go for a run. However, while most villagers ran only a mile or two and ninjas ran 5 or 6 miles during a single workout, Naruto did 10 miles, beating his own personal time by 2 minutes. However, even this couldn't get his mind off doing things to Sakura that were so dirty that not even Jiraiya would put it in his book. After the 20th mile, Naruto finally stopped to get a drink at one of the many drinking fountains spread out over the running path. Fox brat, said a voice from behind him as Naruto turned to see Kiba and Akamaru standing there with a grin. What do you want, dog breath? Asked Naruto with his own grin. I am just wondering if you heard anything about Hinata, asked Kiba. Sorry Kiba, I haven't seen or heard anything, said Naruto. Is there any way you could find her? Asked Kiba. There is a way, said Naruto. I could go to the Demon Lion world. Great, can I come? I need to talk to Hinata. Interrupted Kiba. Let me finish, but you can't come because you are not a demon summoner or a welcomed guest, said Naruto as Kiba lowered his head. Perfect, just fucking perfect, said Kiba as he suddenly stopped and smiled. But you can go, right? Yeah? Asked Naruto, wondering where this was going. Then you can give a message to Hinata for me, said Kiba. Okay, but if it is a mussy love message then I wouldn't be the best messenger since we are cousins, said Naruto. Okay, what if I write a letter to her and you deliver it for me? Asked Kiba. Yeah, I can do that, answered Naruto. Thanks, said Kiba, it's just she left without saying anything and I really need to tell her some things. I see, said Naruto. Kiba, would you be up for getting a late breakfast? It's going to be hard to find a place since you're banned from pretty much everywhere, said Kiba. Almost there is one place I am still welcomed, said Naruto as he and Kiba started heading toward the far edges of the village. Meanwhile, in the Snake Demon world, Sasuke worked on his own training. In order to help with his training, he was given his training field and living area. However, his training field wasn't his alone. Sasuke-kun? Asked Karen as she appeared on the edge of the training field. What? Asked Sasuke as he looked at his teammate and now next-door neighbor. I was wondering if you could teach me some justice, asked Karen as Sasuke thought for a second. Fine, it may make you slightly more useful, said Sasuke, but not a justu, a weapon would be more useful. What sort of weapon do you think I should use? Asked Karen. A distance weapon. So go find some distance weapon you want to learn and then come back, said Sasuke as Karen went toward the Demon Snake Forge to find a weapon for her. So this is your hidden spot? Asked Kiba as he and Naruto sat in a food stand of what could be the worst food stand Kiba had ever seen. All the equipment looked older than him, the roof that was to stop any rain from coming in was full of holes. Yeah, it may not be the best but it works, said Naruto as his food came up. Not the best? Really, I had no idea, said Kiba as he rolled his eyes before looking behind him to see what he would call the slums of the Leaf Village. It was the part of the village which he knew had the highest crime rate and the lowest income. It was the part of town where newcomers to the Leaf Village and the poorest of poor lived. This was the part of town in which his mom would kill him if she saw him in that part of town. It's the only place that will take me, said Naruto as he rubbed his temples, and what makes it worse is that they are now stopping Sakura-chan from using the food stands and stores. Naruto, I wish there was something I could do to help you, but there isn't much I can do until I take control of the clan, said Kiba, and even then I can't do much. I am not worried about me, Kiba, said Naruto. You're worried about Sakura, said Kiba as he looked into his drink. You just want the best for her, you want her to have a happy life and to know she is safe. You're talking about Hinata, aren't you? Asked Naruto. Yeah, said Kiba, I have loved her since we were in school. I wouldn't have guessed that, said Naruto. Well, I couldn't come out and say it because of her crush on you, said Kiba. Her happiness means more than anything to me, even if she didn't end up with me. That is how I felt about bringing Sasuke back for Sakura-chan, said Naruto. Yeah, but she came around to you, said Kiba, or has the story I heard about you two living together and sleeping together a lie? Well, sleeping in the same bed but not sex, said Naruto with a grin. Well, not yet. Well, if what I am smelling is true then it may not be long, said Kiba as he grinned himself as Naruto's eyes widened. Mating season, right? How did you know? Asked Naruto. My clan has an affirmation with dogs and that means that we share some traits with them like my shaper teeth and a breeding season, said Kiba. I had no idea, said Naruto. It isn't something we like to talk about, it is a clan secret, said Kiba. So does this have to do with the fact you had the fox in you? It is more about the fact that Sakura-chan and I are part demon fox, said Naruto. Ah, Sakura has it too? Asked Kiba with a laugh. What is so funny? Asked Naruto. You know my older sister Hana? Asked Kiba. I know of her, said Naruto. Well, let's just say she went crazy on her boyfriend, now husband, when she was in the season, said Kiba. I saw him the morning after and he could barely walk but he was smiling. The thing is demon foxes mate for life, said Naruto. Same with mine clan, said Kiba. The question you have to ask is, do you love her? Yeah. More than anything, said Naruto. And if she loves you, then you're set, said Kiba. But we are so young, said Naruto. That is what birth control justice are for, and beside most ninjas don't know if they are going to die on the next mission, so they have to spend as much time with their loved ones as possible, said Kiba. The demon war is coming too, said Naruto, I can't imagine losing her. So spend as much time as possible with her now, said Kiba as he stood up and paid for his lunch. Now I am going to write a letter to Hinata, and I suggest you talk to Sakura because she is likely going crazy about now. Naruto stood up and paid for his meal before heading home and to Sakura. Sakura-chan, yelled Naruto as he entered the house. In here Naruto-kun, said Sakura as Naruto entered the kitchen to see Sakura eating her own lunch. Her back was to him as she eating what smelled like a chicken salad. Are you feeling better? Asked Naruto. A little. Katara told me some ways to help me, some justice that help with the headache, said Sakura, however my head still hurts like a bitch. Maybe I can help, said Naruto as he leaned forward and started planting kisses on Sakura's neck. Sakura couldn't help but let out a low moan as she realized that her headache was going away. I thought you wanted to wait, Naruto-kun, asked Sakura as she left her lunch alone before spinning around so that she could look Naruto in the eyes as her hands wrapped around his neck. Do you want to wait? Asked Naruto as he looked into the woman he loves' eyes. Her answer came in the form of a kiss on the lips. No, said Sakura as she kissed Naruto's cheek before biting softly on his earlobe. I love you, Naruto-kun. Sakura's arms went around taking off Naruto's black cloak, leaving him only in his dark gray Jonin vest and his pants. While Sakura kissed Naruto, her figures found their way to the top of the vest and the zipper. As she pulled it down, a loud banging sound filled the air, causing both of them to stop what they were doing. What was that? Asked Sakura as the knock came again. Someone is at the door. Forget about it, said Naruto as he kissed Sakura again. They will go away. Naruto, I know you're there, said Tsunade's voice from the other side of the door. The council wants to have to talk to you. Shit, said Naruto. Go, said Sakura before whispering in his ear, it will let me get something ready for you to come back. Naruto couldn't help but grin as he kissed Sakura again. Yeah, but it also means we have a mating season, said Naruto as Sakura looked up at him. What? Asked Sakura. Basically, I am the source of your headache, and until we mate or the season ends in 5 to 8 days. Also, the closer we are to each other, the worse our headaches will be, said Naruto. Why don't you summon Katara? She will be able to explain things better than I can. With that, Naruto left the room. It was strange, when Naruto left the room, Sakura's headache lifted. She listened as Naruto got dressed and left the bedroom and finally the house altogether. I guess I better summon Katara, said Sakura as she bit her thumb and ran those hand signs. When she was done, she slammed her hand against the marble floor as Katara appeared in a puff of smoke. What the? Asked Katara as she looked around to see Sakura sitting on the edge of the bathtub. Sakura, what is wrong? Monster headache, and Naruto-kun said it was breeding season, answered Katara as Sakura nodded her head. I can smell it. What does this mean? Asked Sakura. What you think it means? Said Katara, you are part demon fox, and that means going through what every female fox goes through once a year. A breeding or mating season, it's like your human period, but only once a year. My period was never like this, said Sakura as she rubbed her temples. It's like a consistent need to jump on Naruto and fuck his brains out, asked Katara as Sakura nodded her head. It's a mating season, which means you can't stop of thinking of ways to fuck the man you see as your mate. And we know who that is. Naruto-kun, answered Sakura. Also, you two must have synced up, said Katara. I can smell his too. Synced up? Asked Sakura. See, males also have a breeding season in which they want to fuck the brains out of females, said Katara. Synced up is when a male and a female naturally time their mating season to match each other, that way they can solve each other's need. And Naruto's and mine are linked together? Asked Sakura. Yeah. See, when a female goes into heat, they release a scent telling males that they are ready to be taken by the male they choice, and males release a scent of their own, which is like a sign saying, I am the best fox in town and you and I would be perfect together, said Katara with a perverted grin. It is a good thing for when you two finally mate, it will blow your freaking mind. Mating season sex is the best sex. But what if Naruto-kun and I don't want to mate just yet, asked Sakura. Then you will just have to fight it, like every other non-mated female fox, said Katara. But this is so bad, said Sakura, and Naruto and I need to work together in training. Well, it lasts only 5 to 8 days, but if you really wanted to end it, then just do it with Naruto, said Katara. The headache will go away once you two mate. Then how come Naruto acted so normally, asked Sakura. Well, Naruto had a few more years' experience dealing with it, said Katara, but believe me, he is going crazy right now. Katara was right when it came to Naruto going crazy. He had gotten dressed, and the moment he walked out the door he started sprinting toward the massive track that was built just inside wall of the village to allow ninjas and villagers alike to go for a run. However, while most villagers ran only a mile or two and ninjas ran 5 or 6 miles during a single workout, Naruto did 10 miles, beating his own personal time by 2 minutes. However, even this couldn't get his mind off doing things to Sakura that were so dirty that not even Jiraiya would put it in his book. After the 20th mile, Naruto finally stopped to get a drink at one of the many drinking fountains spread out over the running path. Fox brat, said a voice from behind him as Naruto turned to see Kiba and Akamaru standing there with a grin. What do you want, dog breath? Asked Naruto with his own grin. I am just wondering if you heard anything about Hinata, asked Kiba. Sorry Kiba, I haven't seen or heard anything, said Naruto. Is there any way you could find her? Asked Kiba. There is a way, said Naruto. I could go to the Demon Lion world. Great, can I come? I need to talk to Hinata. Interrupted Kiba. Let me finish, but you can't come because you are not a demon summoner or a welcomed guest, said Naruto as Kiba lowered his head. Perfect, just fucking perfect, said Kiba as he suddenly stopped and smiled. But you can go, right? Yeah? Asked Naruto, wondering where this was going. Then you can give a message to Hinata for me, said Kiba. Okay, but if it is a mussy love message then I wouldn't be the best messenger since we are cousins, said Naruto. Okay, what if I write a letter to her and you deliver it for me? Asked Kiba. Yeah, I can do that, answered Naruto. Thanks, said Kiba, it's just she left without saying anything and I really need to tell her some things. I see, said Naruto. Kiba, would you be up for getting a late breakfast? It's going to be hard to find a place since you're banned from pretty much everywhere, said Kiba. Almost there is one place I am still welcomed, said Naruto as he and Kiba started heading toward the far edges of the village. Meanwhile, in the Snake Demon world, Sasuke worked on his own training. In order to help with his training, he was given his training field and living area. However, his training field wasn't his alone. Sasuke-kun, asked Karen as she appeared on the edge of the training field. What? Asked Sasuke as he looked at his teammate and now next-door neighbor. I was wondering if you could teach me some justice, asked Karen as Sasuke thought for a second. Fine, it may make you slightly more useful, said Sasuke, but not a justu, a weapon would be more useful. What sort of weapon do you think I should use? Asked Karen. A distance weapon. So go find some distance weapon you want to learn and then come back, said Sasuke as Karen went toward the Demon Snake Forge to find a weapon for her. So this is your hidden spot? Asked Kiba as he and Naruto sat in a food stand of what could be the worst food stand Kiba had ever seen. All the equipment looked older than him, the roof that was to stop any rain from coming in was full of holes. Yeah, it may not be the best but it works, said Naruto as his food came up. Not the best? Really, I had no idea, said Kiba as he rolled his eyes before looking behind him to see what he would call the slums of the Leaf Village. It was the part of the village which he knew had the highest crime rate and the lowest income. It was the part of town where newcomers to the Leaf Village and the poorest of poor lived. This was the part of town in which his mom would kill him if she saw him in that part of town. It's the only place that will take me, said Naruto as he rubbed his temples, and what makes it worse is that they are now stopping Sakura-chan from using the food stands and stores. Naruto, I wish there was something I could do to help you, but there isn't much I can do until I take control of the clan, said Kiba, and even then I can't do much. I am not worried about me, Kiba, said Naruto. You're worried about Sakura, said Kiba as he looked into his drink. You just want the best for her, you want her to have a happy life and to know she is safe. You're talking about Hinata, aren't you? Asked Naruto. Yeah, said Kiba, I have loved her since we were in school. I wouldn't have guessed that, said Naruto. Well, I couldn't come out and say it because of her crush on you, said Kiba. Her happiness means more than anything to me, even if she didn't end up with me. That is how I felt about bringing Sasuke back for Sakura-chan, said Naruto. Yeah, but she came around to you, said Kiba, or has the story I heard about you two living together and sleeping together a lie? Well, sleeping in the same bed but not sex, said Naruto with a grin. Well, not yet. Well, if what I am smelling is true then it may not be long, said Kiba as he grinned himself as Naruto's eyes widened. Mating season, right? How did you know? Asked Naruto. My clan has an affirmation with dogs and that means that we share some traits with them like my shaper teeth and a breeding season, said Kiba. I had no idea, said Naruto. It isn't something we like to talk about, it is a clan secret, said Kiba. So does this have to do with the fact you had the fox in you? It is more about the fact that Sakura-chan and I are part demon fox, said Naruto. Ah, Sakura has it too? Asked Kiba with a laugh. What is so funny? Asked Naruto. You know my older sister Hana? Asked Kiba. I know of her, said Naruto. Well, let's just say she went crazy on her boyfriend, now husband, when she was in the season, said Kiba. I saw him the morning after and he could barely walk but he was smiling. The thing is demon foxes mate for life, said Naruto. Same with mine clan, said Kiba. The question you have to ask is, do you love her? Yeah, more than anything, said Naruto. And if she loves you, then you're set, said Kiba. But we are so young, said Naruto. That is what birth control justice are for, and beside most ninjas don't know if they are going to die on the next mission, so they have to spend as much time with their loved ones as possible, said Kiba. The demon war is coming too, said Naruto. I can't imagine losing her. So spend as much time as possible with her now, said Kiba as he stood up and paid for his lunch. Now I am going to write a letter to Hinata and I suggest you talk to Sakura because she is likely going crazy about now. Naruto stood up and paid for his meal before heading home and to Sakura. Sakura-chan, yelled Naruto as he entered the house. In here, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as Naruto entered the kitchen to see Sakura eating her own lunch. Her back was to him as she eating what smelled like a chicken salad. Are you feeling better? Asked Naruto. A little Katara told me some ways to help me, some justus that help with the headache, said Sakura. However, my head still hurts like a bitch. Maybe I can help, said Naruto as he leaned forward and started planting kisses on Sakura's neck. Sakura couldn't help but let out a low moan as she realized that her headache was going away. I thought you wanted to wait, Naruto-kun, asked Sakura as she left her lunch alone before spinning around so that she could look Naruto in the eyes as her hands wrapped around his neck. Do you want to wait? Asked Naruto as he looked into the woman he loves eyes. Her answer came in the form of a kiss on the lips. No, said Sakura as she kissed Naruto's cheek before biting softly on his earlobe. I love you, Naruto-kun. Sakura's arms went around taking off Naruto's black cloak, leaving him only in his dark gray Jonin vest and his pants. While Sakura kissed Naruto, her figures found their way to the top of the vest and the zipper. As she pulled it down, a loud banging sound filled the air, causing both of them to stop what they were doing. What was that? Asked Sakura as the knock came again. Someone is at the door. Forget about it, said Naruto as he kissed Sakura again. They will go away. Naruto, I know you're there, said Tsunade's voice from the other side of the door. The council wants to have to talk to you. Shit, said Naruto. Go, said Sakura before whispering in his ear, it will let me get something ready for you to come back. Naruto couldn't help but grin as he kissed Sakura again. The sun was coming up over the leaf, light was pouring in though the drawn shads hitting Sakura in the face. Slowly she opened her eyes and was greeted by the sight of Naruto's smiling, sleeping face. Naruto's arms holding her tight, making her feel so safe. His hot breath hitting the top of her head sent jolts of joy down her spine. She felt Naruto's leg move, wrapping it around hers. Then it was the intoxicating smell that saturated the room filled her nose. This feels so good, thought Sakura as she moved her head closer to Naruto. However, she knew she couldn't stay in this haven for long. She kissed his forehead before slowly sit up, moving Naruto's hands which had wrapped around her body. As she stood up to head toward the shower and prepare for a day of training, a hand shot up and grabbed her hand. "Where are you going, Sakura-chan?" asked Naruto as he opened his eyes. "I thought you were sleeping," said Sakura with a smile. "I was," said Naruto as he pulled Sakura back down onto the bed as they started another round. Across town, Ino was eating her breakfast. Just as she was finishing her breakfast, her father sat down at the table. "Ino, can I talk to you about something?" asked Inoichi as he drank his coffee. He had been waiting for a while to tell Ino about his deal with Choza, but there was no delaying it. He was going to tell her today. "Can it wait, Dad? I was going to see if I can. The girls are up for a day at the hot spring?" asked Ino as she cleaned her place at the table. "Alright, but we need to have a sit down tonight," ordered Inoichi. "Okay, Daddy," said Ino as she turned on the charm on her father as she headed out the door. Back at the Namikaze compound, Sakura and Naruto had just finished as they nuzzled into each other. "That was great," said Naruto. "Yes, it was," said Sakura. "However, there is one thing I am worried about," said Naruto. "What?" asked Sakura. "Maybe I should have gotten a condom," said Naruto. "Your mom would freak if you got pregnant." "She would, but don't worry, I know birth control justice and I used them before you came," said Sakura. "So what are we planning to do today?" "Well, you need to work on controlling your element and your ability to enter Sage mode," said Naruto. "I have to work on mastering some of my father's justice." "Can we skip lifting weights? My shoulder is killing me," said Sakura as she sat up and rubbed her shoulder. "And here I thought demon chakra meant faster healing." "Wait a second, Sakura," said Naruto. "What is it?" asked Sakura. "You will not believe me, so I will have to show you," said Naruto as he stood up as he headed toward a small hand-held mirror. That is when Sakura saw it. Naruto's tattoo had changed. Instead of showing just a blonde fox, it showed a pink fox along with the blonde fox in a circular formation with their noses and tails touching each other. "Naruto-kun, what happened to your tattoo?" asked Sakura. "You have a tattoo of two foxes on your shoulder." "So it happened to me too," said Naruto. "Two?" asked Sakura. "You have the same tattoo on your shoulder now too, Sakura-chan," said Naruto. "That's why your shoulder hurts." "Well, since the blonde fox represents you, the pink fox must mean me," said Sakura as she stood up and found a robe to put on. Naruto had slipped on a pair of shorts. "Must be sign saying that we had sex." "Makes sense," said Naruto as he found a new pair of boxers. "It's more than that," said a voice from the other side of the door. "Can we come in?" "Sure," said Sakura as Katara and Saito opened the door. "You just had to do it, didn't you?" said Saito. "You had to mate with her." "And what is wrong with me?" growled Sakura. "Saito is just being Saito, pay the baka no mind," said Katara as she glared at Saito. "So this tattoo, you said there was more to it?" asked Naruto. "It marks you two as mates for life, warning others to stay away," said Katara. "There is also a small physic link." "Physic link?" asked Sakura. "Basically, if you practice you will be able to communicate with each other anywhere and at any time," said Katara. "That would be useful in battle," said Saito. "Yes. But the more important thing is that you two are linked emotionally," said Katara. "Basically you feel what the other feels. If one of you is upset then the other knows it, same goes for happiness, if you are in the mood or if you're in trouble." "Maybe then I can finally understand woman better," laughed Naruto only to get a look from Sakura-chan. He quickly knocked it off. "See, she already has control over you, Naruto," said Saito as he walked out of the room. An hour later, Sakura was about to heading out to training when suddenly a knock came from the front door. She opened it to find Ino standing there. "There you are, forehead," said Ino. "What is it, Piggy?" asked Sakura. "Well, you know how I told you about a girl's day out?" asked Ino. Yeah, said Sakura as she realized that she had forgotten about Ino's plan. Well, how does today work, said Ino. I don't know, I wanted to get some training in, said Sakura. Come on forehead, it's the last day that Temari will be the village until the finals of the Chunin exam in a month, said Ino, and I got my family's private. Go Sakura-chan, said Naruto. But what about training, asked Sakura. You can't train all the time, so spend a day with the girls, besides I have some things I need to do anyhow, said Naruto. Alright, said Sakura as she followed Ino out the door. It didn't take long for the two of them to reach the hot springs. When they reached it, the workers glared at Sakura as they entered the locker room. Sakura tried to make sure that Ino didn't see the tattoo on her back. She didn't hit it because of shame, but if Ino found out, that is all they would be talking about during the day, even though it was personal. Luckily the towel covered her body as she entered the private Yamanaka clan part of the hot spring. To her surprise, Tenten and Temari were already there. What took you so long? Asked Tenten as she sat in the hot bobbling water. What did Ino have to drag you out of Naruto's bed? Asked Temari with a grin as she sat on the edge of the hot springs with her feet in the water. No, I was up, said Sakura as took the towel off before entering the water. Yeah, but your demon guards wouldn't let me in for a while. What was up with that? Asked Ino as she got into the water. They are guards, you are not supposed to get past them fast, said Sakura as she grinned at Ino. She has a point, little cousin, said Temari as Sakura and Tenten looked at her. What? Asked Tenten, you two are cousins? Second cousins, said Temari, my aunt was Ino's grandmother. How does that work? Asked Tenten. She married my grandpa, who was a spy for the leaf in the sand. My mom was born in the sand, trained in it, said Ino, then my mom finished their mission and they returned to the leaf. Where she meet your dad and had you, said Sakura. Yeah, said Ino as she looked at her cousin, apart from the blonde hair we share nothing in common. Temari, sorry if I offend you, but you are a tomboy. None taken, living in the sand, we don't have time to worry about flowers like you, flower girl, said Temari. What about Shikamaru? Asked Tenten. Yeah, we do share the little boy, said Temari. Don't worry Temari, I am not interested in your little boy, said Ino as Temari looked up and blushed a bit. So you do like Shikamaru? Asked Tenten with a smile. It's kind of known secret, Temari, said Sakura, however I don't think Shikamaru knows it. So what if I do like the little boy? Asked Temari. Tenten has Neji. Sakura has Naruto, hell Hinata has Kiba, doesn't she? Why can't I have Shikamaru? There is nothing wrong with it, but Hinata and Kiba were forced together, said Sakura. I don't think Kiba mind that much, said Ino as she reached up and undid her ponytail, letting her hair flow naturally. It was weird for Ino to have her hair down. And what about you, Ino? Any guy in your life? Asked Tenten as Ino blushed. Yes, do tell us, Ino, said Temari as she got into the water as well. Meanwhile in the demon world, Naruto found himself standing before Citlali, lady of all demon lions. What brings you to our world, Naruto? Asked Citlali as she sat on her throne. I have a message for Hinata, said Naruto as he held an envelope in his hands. From whom? Asked Citlali. From Kiba, but I also want to talk to her, said Naruto. I see, said Citlali as she jumped down and headed toward a training field. When they entered the field, Naruto was surprised to see Hinata standing there with a long bow and arrow. Naruto watched as Hinata pulled back on the string before releasing the arrow and sent it flying down range, hitting a bull's eyes on the target almost a mile away. Impressive, said Naruto as Hinata lowered her bow. It is a natural mix, Byakugan and the bow and arrow, said Citlali as Hinata looked at Naruto. I'll leave you all. Why have you come, Naruto? Asked Hinata as she turned away and placed her weapons on a nearby table. Two things, Hinata. First was to give you this, said Naruto as he held out Kiba's letter, but Hinata refused to take it. Is that from Kiba? Asked Hinata. Yes, he wanted me to give you it, said Naruto as Hinata shook her head. He loves me, doesn't he? Asked Hinata as Naruto just looked at his cousin. I saw the signs, but I didn't want to see them. You liked me at the time, said Naruto. Yeah, said Hinata, tell Kiba that he should move on and find someone else. If we were not cousins and I had told you that, would that have stopped you from loving me? Asked Naruto as he crossed his arms. No, it wouldn't, said Hinata. Then why do you think it will work on Kiba? Asked Naruto as Hinata tried to find the words. Hinata, give dog boy a chance at your heart. I'll think about it, said Hinata as she took the letter. What was the second thing you wanted to do? I wanted to say I was sorry. I should have found a way to stop you from getting the birdcage seal, said Naruto. Don't worry about that, Naruto, said Hinata as she lifted her bands to show her unmarked forehead. The infusion of demon chakra destroyed the seal. That is great, Hinata, said Naruto. Maybe I should say the same thing about you and Sakura, said Hinata. That tattoo on your back means you two are mated, yes? Yes, said Naruto with a smile and a blush. Good, I may have not seen it earlier, but you two are great together, said Hinata. Thanks for that, Hinata, said Naruto as he suddenly hugged Hinata. Before this would have caused Hinata to faint on the spot, but things had changed. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. We are family, right? Yeah, we are family, said Hinata. Well, I'll leave you to keep training and to read your letter, said Naruto as he turned and to leave. Naruto, said Hinata as Naruto turned around and looked at her. I'll finish my training in 3 years. That is about how long it took to finish mine, said Naruto. Well, after I finish, you, Sakura, Shikamaru and myself should spend the final year working together, said Hinata. We will need to work together as a squad to win this war. Sounds like a plan, said Naruto with a smile. So you'll tell Shikamaru? Asked Hinata. Lady Satilia told me he is training by the western mountains of Fire Country. No, why don't you tell Temari to tell him? The girls are spending the day at the Leaf Village Hot Springs. I am sure they would be happy to see you, said Naruto. Besides, Shikamaru would like to see Temari, don't you think? I believe they would, said Hinata as she looked down at the letter, but before I better read this. Sure, we are dealing with Ino. She would spend the whole day at the hot springs, said Naruto. It's actually the hot springs and spa, said Hinata as Naruto shrugged. It was the place I always went to find that perverted teacher, Jiraiya, said Naruto. See you later, Hinata. Bye, Naruto, said Hinata as Naruto faded away. After an hour of grilling by the other girls, Ino couldn't stand it anymore. So we have it narrowed down between Lee and Choji now. Which one does Ino like? Asked Tenten. My money is on Choji, said Temari as Ino looked up at her. Lee is too low for Ino. That reminds me, where is Lee? He hasn't tried to ask me out in a while. Said Sakura. I thought you and Naruto were a couple now, asked Tenten. We are, but I didn't think Lee would accept that so fast. Said Sakura. Well, he and Guy went on a training mission, they should be back in a couple of days. Said Tenten. They are in for a surprise, said Ino. Stop trying to get off the hook. Said Temari. Fine, but this doesn't leave this room. I am not sure, but I think I may like Choji, said Ino as the girls grinned. But before anything could be said, the hot springs opened. All the girls looked to see Hinata standing there with a towel around her. Hinata? Asked Sakura. Mind if I join you? Asked Hinata. Sure, said Ino as Hinata walked around and went into the hot springs across from Sakura. Sakura and Hinata just looked at each other from across the water, as Sakura tried to find words to talk to Hinata. Well, this is strange, said Ino as Hinata and Sakura just looked at each other. Listen, Hinata, about Naruto, said Sakura. Don't worry about it, said Hinata, I already talked to Naruto. Really? Asked Sakura. How do you think I knew about this little get-together? Asked Hinata. He came to the demon world to drop a letter from Kiba. So you are okay about Naruto-kun and me? Asked Sakura. You used to love him. Yes, I did, said Hinata, but that was before I found out he was my cousin. Yeah, that would have made it very gross, said Ino. Besides, I can't really say anything now because of the mark, can I? Said Hinata as the girls turned and looked at her. What mark? Asked Ino as Sakura shook her head before turning around to show the girls the tattoo on her back. What is that? Asked Tenten. It is a demon seal of mating, explained Hinata. The pink fox representing Sakura and the blonde one is Naruto. It means they are mated. You're saying they had sex? Asked Ino. Yes, and foxes like wolves and the lions only mate with one person for life, said Hinata. In a way she and Naruto are married now. Really? Asked Ino with a grin. So they are married for life? Asked Temari. Does this apply for you and little boy? Yeah, said Hinata. However, I have no idea what will happen if I or Shikamaru should mate with someone who doesn't have demon chakra. You don't know? Asked Tenten. We were the first human demon summoners and that mark come from the trading of demon chakra, said Hinata. Naruto and Sakura both have demon chakra so they could trade. I see, said Temari. Temari, I was going to ask you to stop at Shikamaru's training field and tell him that we all plan to meet back up in 3 years so that we can have a year together to train. Said Hinata. Sure, where is the little boy's training field? Asked Temari. Northwest Mountains, said Hinata. That is a little bit out of your way, said Sakura. Nah, it will be fine, said Temari. I wouldn't mind seeing the little boy. I am sure you wouldn't mind, said Ino with a grin. After a nice day at the hot springs, the girls had parted ways, Temari back to her hotel room, Tenten to the apartment she now shared with Niji, Sakura back to the Namikaze estate, Hinata to the Demon Lion world and Ino back to her home. She entered her home to find her father sitting in one of the living room's chairs waiting for her. Hello Dad, said Ino as she was almost walked past him and to her room. Ino, we need to talk, said Inoichi. Yeah, said Ino as she sat down across from her dad on the couch. Well Ino, you know it is tradition for not only our clan but almost every clan in the Leaf to arrange marriages, said Inoichi. You arranged a marriage, didn't you? Asked Ino. Yes and no, said Inoichi as he couldn't help but think how much Ino was acting like her mother. What does that mean? Asked Ino. Well, he wanted to arrange a marriage, but knowing you wouldn't like that I changed the custom a bit, said Inoichi. How so? Asked Ino, wondering where her father was going at. Well, we arranged for you and his son to go on a date or two, said Inoichi. If it doesn't work out then it doesn't work out. So you're just asking me to go out on a date or two with some boy? Asked Ino, and if I don't want to go on any more I don't have to? No you don't, you just have to surrender 2 evenings for dates, said her father. I guess I can deal with that, said Ino as she crossed her arms in the same way her mom did when she had to do something she didn't want to do. So who do you want me to go out with? Someone from the Hataki or the Sarutobi clan? No, they are too young for arranged dating, said Inoichi. Okay, if you set me up with Bug Boy I will say no right way. Bugs inside a person freaks me out, said Ino as her father shook his head. No, it's Choji, said Inoichi. In strange turn, Naruto awoke first to see Sakura still sound asleep at his side. It was strange, most of the time it was Sakura that woke up first, but this time the tables were turned. He got to enjoy seeing his sleeping mate, the woman he loved, at his side. Slowly he sat up in bed just looking at his pink vixen sleeping. He could still smell what they had done for the second night in a row. When he was younger he dreamed of seeing Sakura like this, but his dreams didn't compare to the reality of see Sakura laying in the nude on her stomach sound asleep, her arms wrapped around his chest. He freed one of his arms and slowly started to rub Sakura's back, earning a moan from her. Said Sakura as she opened her eyes and looked up at Naruto still half asleep. Little lower please. Naruto slowly lowered his hand as he kept rubbing. I wish I could wake up like this every day, said Sakura. Well, you would have to wake up after me, said Naruto as Sakura laughed a bit. That happens once in a blue moon, said Sakura. Well, it is better than nothing. Yeah, said Naruto. So I am guessing we make up for the training we missed yesterday, said Sakura. Yeah, we can't spend all day like this, said Naruto. There is a war coming and we need to get ready. Fine, but 5 more minutes, said Sakura. 5 minutes, said Naruto as he rubbed Sakura's back. Meanwhile in the Demon Snake world, Sasuke sat in one of the last places most people would look, the records room. There laid out before him was all the scrolls he could find on different lightning justus. Yes, these will be useful, said Sasuke as he looked at a different scroll, but this Death God lightning strike is very useful. Too bad you can't use that one, said Sheamus as the king of all demon snakes appeared. What do you mean I can't use it? You have the Justa right here, said Sasuke. Because that Justa requires you to sign the Death God summoning contract, and at the moment he has stopped everyone from signing the contract and even Naruto can't use it, said Sheamus. That means he can't use the primary weapon of the Death God, the soul sealing Justu. But I can't use this Justu, said Sasuke as he grabbed the scroll and tossed it aside. It cuts both ways, said Sheamus. So what do you want? Asked Sasuke. It is about your goals, said Sheamus. Kill Naruto, destroy the leaf and rebuild my clan, stated Sasuke. Yes, said Sheamus, the way I see it, 2 of those 3 are going to be finished in 4 years. And you want me to start rebuild my clan? Asked Sasuke as Sheamus nodded. With Karen? Yes, her training isn't that important, she is a long-range sensory type and as such her main role in battle is finding the enemy and hitting at a distance, said Sheamus. She can afford to take time off to bring Young into the world. Still Karen is useful but she isn't that useful, said Sasuke. She is more useful than most and with demon chakra she now has there is a chance the offspring would have demon chakra, said Sheamus. That would make the children stronger and therefore the clan stronger, said Sasuke. Yes, said Sheamus, and unlike our weak enemy we don't mate for life, we mate for convenience and if it doesn't work out we kill. I killed my first mate personally since she didn't provide a son, only my second mate provided the son I needed and even then I killed her. I will think about it, said Sasuke as Sheamus redrew and left Sasuke to think. However, the moment he left the records his son Bilal appeared. I don't understand, father. Why are you leading this human to think his clan will go on after the war? Asked Bilal. Who says it will not be? Asked Sheamus as his son looked at him confused. Are we not going to kill all the humans? Asked Bilal. What would be the fun in that? Asked Sheamus. So we are not going to kill them? Asked Bilal. No, just most and keep the rest of them around as our playthings, said Sheamus. And Sasuke and his clan will manage the human population, said Bilal. Yes, that way we don't have to waste our time managing our playthings, said Sheamus. Are the other demons on board with your plan? Asked Sheamus. Yes, they are on board, in fact it was their idea, said Sheamus. I only suggested that our human summers rule the human world. I understand, said Bilal. Good, now get to work and find out what our enemy is planning, ordered Sheamus. Back in the leaf, Tsunade sat at her desk looking over some paperwork. You can come out now, you pervert, said Tsunade as suddenly Jiraiya appeared from a shadow. Ah, you are no fun, said Jiraiya. What do you want, you old pervert? Asked Tsunade. Well, I just thought I would tell you I am about to leave town, said Jiraiya as he sat down across from his old teammate. So you got tired of having your ass kicked for spying on females in the baths? Asked Tsunade. No, it's just I realized that if this demon war started at this moment I would be useless, said Jiraiya. You are one of the Sannin of the Hidden Leaf, said Tsunade. If you are useless then pretty much everyone in this entire village is useless. Maybe useless was the wrong word, but at the moment I can't do as much as I can, said Jiraiya. What are you going to do? Asked Tsunade. I never truly mastered Sage Mode, said Jiraiya. Maybe if I master it I can be more useful in this war. Tsunade just leaned back in her chair and looked at her old teammate. So you're going on a training mission yourself? Asked Tsunade. Yes, said Jiraiya. Well, you know I can't stop you from going, said Tsunade, even if I wanted to. One of the perks of being a Sannin, said Jiraiya, I can go wherever I want. Can I ask you to stay until 1 today? Lee and Guy are due back by then and I don't want to have you and them gone on top of the other ninjas we have out of the village, said Tsunade. Fine, I'll stay but only if you agree to lunch with me, said Jiraiya. Just like you to always ask me out, said Tsunade, and most of the time I say no, so why do you keep asking? Well, Naruto finally got the girl so maybe I have hope, said Jiraiya with a grin. Fine. For the safety of the village I will have lunch with an old friend, said Tsunade. Back at the Namikaze estate, Naruto and Sakura had just finished a morning workout. It was by far the hardest workout Sakura had gone through in a long time. "You tired, Sakura-chan?" asked Naruto as he stood there with a slight grin. "Yeah, but the beginning of any training is always the hardest," said Sakura. "Well, there is something we have to do," said Naruto. "What?" asked Sakura as Naruto bit his thumb and ran through hand signs. When he finished, he slammed his hand against the ground as a puff of smoke appeared. Out of the smoke a dark red fox appeared with 4 tails. However, the strange thing was this fox had on a metal suit that covered most of its front body. He also had a pair of heavy dirt-covered glasses sat between his ear and his eyes. "Ah, Naruto, what can I do for you?" asked the fox. "Sakura, this is Ferris, the best metal worker the demon foxes have," said Naruto. "Ah, so this is the pink vixen I heard about," said Ferris. "Hello," said Sakura, wondering what was going on. "So what do you need of me, Naruto?" asked Ferris. "Well, Sakura will need some weapons made out of demon steel," said Naruto as Ferris nodded his head, as Sakura understood what was going on. "The normal stuff, kunai, shurikens and other normal ninja weapons?" asked Ferris. "Yes," said Naruto. "Also, can you think of a special weapon for Sakura, something she can use in the coming war?" "I can always find something," said Ferris as he looked at Sakura. "Naruto, what are you doing?" asked Sakura. "I have a sword, Hinata, as a bow and arrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if Shikamaru is being trained in a special weapon," said Naruto. "I want you to have a special weapon. I would recommend it actually. Shikamaru has been given a set of knives made of wolf steel." "Sakura is the last one to get a special weapon," said Ferris. "Lord Kyubi informed me that our spies have discovered that on top of Sasuke's sword, Karen is being trained with a crossbow, Yugo with a mace and Suigetsu with his own swords." "Okay, what do you think I should have?" asked Sakura. "I am not sure. Do you have any special training?" asked Ferris. "I am a medic and field doctor," said Sakura. "Also your strength in close combat," said Naruto. "She has superhuman strength." "I see, then I may have an idea in mind," said Ferris. "What type of chakra are you?" "Water," answered Sakura. "Alright, I'll get back to you in a couple of days," said Ferris. "I wish I could be faster, but I am just so busy building weapons for the army." "That is understandable," said Sakura as Ferris disappeared in a puff of smoke. However, the moment he disappeared, Sakura turned and glared at Naruto. "What is it, Sakura?" asked Naruto. "Naruto, when were you planning to tell me about the whole weapon thing?" asked Sakura as Naruto just blinked. "I don't understand," asked Naruto. "What is wrong?" "It's just I want to know what you're planning before it happens. I don't like it when people make choices for me, even if they are ones I would have made myself," said Sakura as Naruto lowered his head. "I am sorry, Sakura-chan," said Naruto as the fox seal made him feel Sakura's disappointment in him, and it made him feel even worse. "It's just I am new to the whole relationship thing, in fact the whole living with other people thing. I will make mistakes." Naruto-kun did spend most of his life either living alone or being the only human in the demon world, said inner Sakura. "Besides, he is the man we love." "Yeah, I even love how he wants to protect me," said Sakura back. "He just wants to protect me by giving me weapons. He just needs to learn to communicate better," said inner Sakura. "We both will make mistakes, Naruto-kun," said Sakura. "We will learn how to work in a relationship together." "Alright, how about I make lunch?" asked Naruto. "Works for me," said Sakura. Meanwhile, across town, Ino sat at her normal haunt for lunch, the barbecue food stand. She was about halfway through her lunch when she felt a presence in the stand. She looked up to see Choji walking through the door. Instantly he spotted her and rushed Ino. "Ino," said Choji as he stood there not saying else. "What is it, Choji?" asked Ino. "Well, my dad just told me," said Choji as he tried to find the words. "About our dad's agreement for us to go out together?" asked Ino as Choji nodded. "My dad told me last night." "Look, Ino, you have to believe me, I had no idea," said Choji. "I know," said Ino, "it's our parents going behind our backs." Listen, if you don't want to go through with it, we can just have 2 lunches as friends and call them dates, asked Choji. Listen, Choji. I will not lie to you, when I was younger you would be far from my idea of a dream boyfriend, said Ino as Choji nodded his head. He knew he wasn't that good looking, however seeing Sasuke, the boy who I thought I loved as he is now, I realized that I was a fool to base my dream boyfriend totally on looks. I don't understand, asked Choji. I mean, before I looked at only a person's looks and that made me a bitch, said Ino. You are not a bitch, Ino, said Choji as he sat down across from her. Yeah, I was, said Ino. I looked at a person's looks instead of what is in someone's heart, and you, Choji, may not be the most handsome man in the village, by you may one of the greatest hearts in the village. So you do what, to go out? Asked Choji. This wasn't what he was expecting. Why not? If it works, it works, if not we are still friends and teammates, said Ino. Alright, said Choji, so when do you want to do this? Well, I do believe traditionally it is up to the man to decide where to go on the first date, said Ino with a grin. Alright, I can get a table at that fancy restaurant uptown on Friday, said Choji, you know, the one with the private booths and candles. Choji, that is the most expensive restaurant in the Leaf. Hell, my parents only go there on their wedding anniversary, said Ino. I can't ask you to spend that kind of money. That would be at least 2 months' pay. Ino, my clan own that restaurant, said Choji with a grin. My clan has their own private table on constant reserve. And the fact that your clan own the place mean we would eat for free, said Ino. I just hope you don't consider me cheap, but when your family owns 3/4 of the restaurants and food stands in the Leaf, it is kind of hard not to find a place where we would get in for free, said Choji before he smiled. Also, it would let you dress up for the occasion. Yeah, it would, said Ino as the door to the food stand opened up again and Lee and Guy entered. Well, hello my youthful friends, said Lee. Hello Lee, how have you been? Asked Choji. I have been good. I have returned stronger and faster, said Lee as he showed his muscles, and with them I will show Sakura-chan that I am the right choose. I thought Naruto went through this with you already, asked Choji. It is Sakura's choice. I know, but I will still put on a show for her to see, and when she sees how much better I have become she will choose me, said Lee as he gave a thumbs up and a huge smile. So you don't know, do you? Asked Ino. Know what? Asked Lee. Did my Sakura-chan get hurt? No, but in the short version, you already lost, said Ino. Yeah, Naruto and Sakura are living together, said Choji as Lee stopped smiling. What? They are already living together? I must hurry to win Sakura's heart or else I may never get Sakura-chan to notice me, said Lee. Too late again, said Ino. They are mated, as the demons call it. Wow, that was fast. I thought Naruto and Sakura would wait at least another month, said Choji, but good for them. But there is still hope, because just because someone sleeps with someone else doesn't mean they will be with them forever, asked Lee as he tried to find hope. Normally, but the way Sakura and Hinata explained it, because they are demon summers now, they mate with one person for life, said Ino. Sakura has some sort of seal on her shoulder marking her as Naruto's mate, and he has one on him marking his as hers. Wait, demon summers? Asked Guy. Yeah, I guessed you missed that too. It happened a month ago now, said Choji. Basically, a team of demon summoners led by Sasuke attacked Naruto in the marketplace, and since the demons were basically from separate villages, they are going to war in 4 years. And each side has 4 summoners. We have Hinata Hyuga for the demon lions, Shikamaru Nara for the demon wolves, and Sakura Haruno and Naruto Namikaze for the demon foxes, said Ino. Wait, Namikaze? Asked Guy. This is going to take a long time, groaned Ino. Yep, said Choji as they begun the process of explaining what happened in the Leaf during Lee and Guy's training mission. It was around 4 in the afternoon when suddenly someone knocked at the front door of the Namikaze estate. Sakura opened the door to find Lee standing there. Hello Lee, said Sakura, what is up? Is it true that you are with Naruto? Asked Lee. Yes, said Sakura, was preparing for this for a while. Naruto-kun and I are together. I thought you would understand it was my choice. I know it was your choice, but why did you become a demon? Asked Lee as Sakura was taken aback. What? Asked Sakura. You became a demon summoner like Naruto, right? Asked Lee. Yeah, so did Hinata and Shikamaru, said Sakura as Lee shook his head. I can't believe you would have become a demon, asked Lee. Lee, I thought you didn't care about Naruto having the Kyuubi in him, asked Sakura. Yeah, but he didn't have a choice in having the Kyuubi in him, but adding it to you by choice is unhonorable, said Lee as Sakura just looked at him. We should gain power by taking it from another is unhonorable and wrong. Lee, I don't think you understand, said Sakura, we are dealing with an army of demons that will attack us in 4 years. That is no excuses, yelled Lee as he lowered his head and started crying. I used to think you were honorable, that you would notice me because I didn't take power from people, that I worked to gain my own power. But no, you have done the unthinkable. You are yelling at me because I decided to become a demon summoner so that I could help Naruto and maybe save the village and the human race, asked Sakura. You are no better than Sasuke Uchiha leaving for power, said Lee. What the fuck, I am nothing like Sasuke, thought Sakura as she noticed that Lee's fists were tightening. You both took power instead of working for it, said Lee. There is a huge difference between what we did and what Sasuke did, said Sakura. The Sakura-chan I loved is dead. She was taken and replaced by a demon who takes power instead of working for it, said Lee as his knuckles turned white. As a man of honor I must avenge the loss of my love. Suddenly Lee dove into his weapon pouch and pulled a short combat knife. He then tried to stab Sakura in the stomach. However, as Lee tried to stab her, Sakura's hand came flying down, grabbing the knife using a layer of demon chakra to protect herself from the blade. Lee was surprised at how fast Sakura had moved. However, the real surprise was that her green eyes, something he always loved about her, were red and silted. However, that red soon changed back to green, but they remained silted. Lee, I recommend you stop what you are doing before you force my hand, stated Sakura as she snapped the knife with her chakra. You are not the Sakura I knew, you are a demon, said Lee as Sakura shook her head. Lee, you are just upset that you can't get your way. For years you have been asking me out and now you lost. You lost what you believe to be your soul mate. On top of that is the fact that you still can't be your rival Neji or Naruto, said Sakura as her eyes returned totally to normal. You know, I actually feel sorry for you. I have nothing to feel sorry about, stated Lee. Yes, you do, said Sakura. You can't come to grips with the truth, that I love Naruto-kun, not you. The whole demon hating thing is just your excuses for hating me because I can't be yours. You are totally wrong. You, Hinata and Shikamaru have shammed yourself by taking power, said Lee as Sakura rolled her eyes. You know, Lee, I expected better from you, but if that is your stance, it was great knowing you, said Sakura as she closed the door on Lee's face. At the end of the week, Tsunade sat in her house looking over some paperwork. She had sent messages out to the other Kages about the demon war and explaining what was going on. She expected the messenger hawks arrived a couple of days ago. The question was if they would believe her or not. She wasn't sure what the other nations would do with the information. Would they join in the fight against the demons? Would they dig deep and hope the war passes them by, or would they join the other side? All those answers would come in when the messages get back. Suddenly a knocking came from the door. Enter, said Tsunade as she looked up. To her surprise, Naruto walked into the room and sat down across from her. Naruto, what can I do for you? 2 things. 1, I was wondering if the mood of the village toward me has changed any since I showed what Haisha really is, asked Naruto. I mean, I can't really go out into the village. Well, Naruto, I wouldn't say the people like you much more, said Tsunade as Naruto looked down. However, the people don't trust Haisha as much. Well, I guess that is something, said Naruto. What is the second thing? Asked Tsunade. Well, I noticed during the budget meeting that Haisha didn't give any money to the outlying district, said Naruto. Yeah, that self-centered son of a bitch only cares about the rich and those he needs to stay in power, said Tsunade, and the extreme poor of the outer district are of no use for him. So he gives almost no money to help the people. Well, I want to, said Naruto. Well, you can put in a request in the council to add attention money to that district, said Tsunade. God knows they need it. The council will never do it. Inoth clan hate me to stop anything I want to do, said Naruto. So what do you want to do? Asked Tsunade. Well, I looked over how much money my clan has and how much comes in each year from investments and others. It is far more than what Sakura-chan and I need, said Naruto. And you want to fund projects in the district yourself? Asked Tsunade. If no one else will, then I will, said Naruto, but they may not want me to give them money because of being a demon to them, so I wanted you to do it. Naruto, I can't do that, said Tsunade as Naruto looked down, not because I can't do it but because this should come from you and people should have the choice to take the money or not, knowing where it is from. If they don't take it, they don't take it. I see, said Naruto, however I will need your permission to fund public works. That you have, said Tsunade as Naruto stood up and headed toward the door. Naruto. Yeah, said Naruto as he stopped. I have to ask, are you doing this just to get the public to like you? Asked Tsunade. I would be lying if I said that wasn't one of my goals in this, but it isn't my main goal, said Naruto. I know if I wasn't a Namikaze I would be living in those slums, I wouldn't have anything close to what I have now. If I was in the slums I would want someone who is capable of fixing the slums to fix the slums, and to hell with politics. Alright, said Tsunade, also I wouldn't worry about people turning your help down. When people are in need they don't care where the help is coming from. Alright, said Naruto. Naruto, how is Sakura doing? Asked Tsunade. Good, her training is going good, thanks for giving her time off from the hospital, said Naruto. I didn't give her time off, said Tsunade as Naruto looked at the Hokage. She didn't tell you? Tell me what? Asked Naruto. She resigned from the hospital, said Tsunade as Naruto was taken back. Why? Asked Naruto. You should talk to her about it, said Tsunade. Later that night Ino was getting ready for her date with Choji. So forehead, what do you think? Asked Ino as she turned to see Sakura sitting on her bed with a medical book in her hands. Sakura looked up to see Ino in yet another one of her purple dresses. You look good, just like the last 5 dresses you had on in the past hour, said Sakura as she looked back down at her medical book. It was only 4 and this was the first one I tried on at the beginning. So you wasted all that time? Asked Sakura. No, I compared different looks and confirmed that my original dress was best, said Ino. Besides, I am surprised you are still doing medical research, since you left the hospital. I am still a medical ninja and these medical justices from the Namikaze clan records may save lives during the coming war, said Sakura. I know, said Ino as she started working on her hair for the 1000th times. You do realize this is Choji, your teammate. He has seen you at your worst. He will not care that much about how your hair looks, said Ino. Don't try and tell me if you were in my shoes going out on a date with Naruto to the finest restaurants in the Leaf you wouldn't be going over every detail. Yeah, I guess you're right, but that isn't going to happening, said Sakura sadly as Ino lowered her head. Sorry, I forgot about the ban that Choji's clan put on you and Naruto, said Ino. It's okay, said Sakura, I just wish I could go on a real date with Naruto-kun, you know, a nice candlelight dinner and a midnight walk in the park under the stars and not have to worry about the demon war. You know, be a normal couple, but the restaurants will not let us in and the villagers would likely do something to us in the park. Sorry about that, said Ino as Sakura smiled. Don't worry about it, I'll want Naruto-kun more than any of those things, said Sakura as she stood up and headed toward the open window. I better get going, enjoy your date with Choji. Don't worry, I'll tell you all the details tomorrow, said Ino as the doorbell rang. That I already know, said Sakura as she jumped out the window and started running across rooftops toward the Namikaze compound. Meanwhile, Choji walked through the door dressed in his finest suit. It was black pants and coat with a white undershirt with a red tie. Now Choji, I warn you, Ino can be slightly crazy, said Inoichi. Sir, I have been her teammate for years, I have been around her a lot, said Choji before he noticed Ino walking down the stairs in her dress. She had her hair pulled back in her normal hairstyle, however that wasn't what he was focusing on. Ino was dressed in a purple dress. She had a purple color around her neck that was attached to straps that ran down to her top. It was a simple number, a straight top that ran around her body but still showed a lot of cleavage, more than Choji had ever seen on his teammate. The dress hugged her sides as it ran down, ending at around her high heels. However, there was a cut in the dress about midway down her right side and let Choji see the side of his date's leg. "Not like this," said Inoichi with a grin as he left the room. "So Choji, are you going to say anything?" asked Ino with a wink. "You, look, God, I have no words to describe how good you look," said Choji. "Well, you look good too," said Ino with a smile. "We better get going to the restaurant." "Right," said Choji as he opened the door. Meanwhile, at the Namikaze estate, Sakura and Naruto were eating their own super. "Sakura, do you trust me?" asked Naruto. "Yeah, of course I trust you, I love you," said Sakura, surprised at the line of question. "Then why didn't you tell me you resigned from the hospital?" asked Naruto as Sakura lowered her fork. "So you found out?" asked Sakura. "Yeah, I went to talk with Tsunade today and she told me you resigned but didn't tell me what happened," said Naruto. "I just can't understand. Though you loved healing people and working at the hospital." "I do," said Sakura as tears started to form in her eyes. "When I forced you to go to the hospital after the battle with the Akatsuki, I went to heal this little boy who had a broken arm. He didn't want me to heal him because I was a demon to him. Then I learned that over half the people I healed put notes in their files saying they didn't want me to heal them." "Sakura-chan," said Naruto as he felt like he was at fault for this. The fox seal that linked them together told Sakura what he was thinking. "Don't bomb yourself, Naruto-kun. It isn't your fault," said Sakura. "The village is just full of fucking idiots." "I know, it's just I didn't want something like that to happen to you," said Naruto, "and I can't help but worry about the future." "The demon war," said Sakura. "That among other things," said Naruto as Sakura looked at him. "Sakura-chan, if a kid does that to you, what would they do to our kids when we have them? I don't want them to be hated like I was." "Ah, that is so sweet. He is worried about kids before we even have them," said inner Sakura as Sakura just smiled. "We will cross that bridge when we get there, Naruto-kun, but one thing different between your childhood and the kids we will have in the future is that they will have two parents who love them always," said Sakura as Naruto smiled as he dreamed about a family, something he always wanted but never got. Meanwhile, at the restaurant, the sound of violins could be heard as Ino and Choji sat in their own private booth with two candles burning between them. Ino was so relaxed, she had almost forgotten she was on a date. It just felt right to be sitting here with Choji, eating, talking and laughing. When Choji put his hand on top of hers, Ino looked up into Choji's smiling face and she couldn't help but smile back as she rolled her hands so that their fingers interlocked. High in the mountains, Shikamaru was doing some one-handed push-ups before bed. Suddenly he heard the snap of a branch. Instantly his eyes became demon eyes as he scanned the fading light for the introduction. However, as he looked up, he saw Temari land in a nearby tree. "Hello little boy," said Temari as Shikamaru stood up. "What is it, Temari?" asked Shikamaru as he noticed Temari do a quick look at his still developing six-pack. If he didn't have demon eyes he wouldn't have noticed it, but he did. "Well, I bring a message from Naruto, Sakura and Hinata," said Temari as Shikamaru sat down and pulled 2 glasses of water from a large pot he had full of water. "Really?" asked Shikamaru as he held out 1 glass as Temari took it. "Yeah, they want to have 3 years of training separately and then the final year of working together, training as a team," said Temari. "Sound like a plan," said Shikamaru as he appeared. "Yeah, well, I better not interrupt your training, little boy, so I'll head back to the sand," said Temari as she finished her water and turned to leave. "Wait," said Shikamaru as Temari turned and looked at him. The rising full moon making her glow in the light like something out of Shikamaru's dirtiest dreams. "What is it, Shikamaru?" asked Temari softly. "Well, it is late, you should rest for the night at least," said Shikamaru as he tried to keep her around. "Yeah, I guess you are right, a good night's rest and head out in the morning," said Temari with a smile as she took off her pack and sat down. "Also, this is the battlefield where the first battle of the next war is to begin," said Shikamaru. "I could use some help in studying it and coming up with general plans to give to the Hokage and the Kazekage." Well, I guess I could stay. It would help with planning for the war, said Temari with a smile as she and Shikamaru's eyes locked across the fire on that warm summer's night with the full moon and the stars above them. A cold breeze ran through the hidden leaf as summer turned to fall. As Sakura woke up from her and Naruto's bed, it was hard for her to believe that been 4 months since the deceleration of the Demon War. That meant that they only had 3 years and 8 months before the war would begin. She slowly left the bed, leaving a sleeping Naruto. While mating season had ended a while ago, it didn't mean they stopped having sex. However, the fact that they had get up early and train almost every day, and by the end of the day they were tired, limited the energy they had to do it. However, it didn't stop it, but still it felt good just to sleep in her mate's arms. To inhale his scent and listen to his heartbeat as she let sleep take her. She quickly headed toward the shower. As the water ran down her body, she couldn't help but think about how much things had changed over the past 4 months. Ino and Choji as a couple, who would have believed that, thought Sakura as she reached for some shampoo. Then again, I wouldn't have put Naruto-kun and I as a future couple when we were kids, said Sakura back as she rubbed shampoo in her now slightly longer hair. Her hair, which to stop at the top of her neck, now stopped around her shoulder blades. If you stood her beside her mom, you wouldn't have noticed many differences apart from maybe the 1.5 inches that her mom had on her in height. However, it was 2 inches 4 months ago. The future is full of things we would never dream about as kids. Speaking of the future, today is the 5th, Naruto-kun's 17th birthday is on the 10th, said inner Sakura. Do we have plans? Yes, I do, said Sakura as a shiver went down her spine just thinking about what she was planning to do. Very good, said inner Sakura. However, remember that it is not just Naruto-kun's birthday but the largest festival in the leaf. Yeah, but it about the defeating of the Kyuubi by the 4th, said Sakura. They see Naruto as the Kyuubi, so going out on the town is out. Yes, but what about the 4th ball? Asked inner Sakura as Sakura stopped rubbing the shampoo out of her hair. The 4th Hokage ball, said Sakura. Yeah, the best ball in the leaf. Every council members and upper class are invited, but not the regular village population. We would have almost as many friends as enemies there. Which is better than being totally outnumbered in the streets, said inner Sakura. We could finally have a real date with Naruto-kun. It would be nice, said Sakura as she turned off the water and reached for a towel as she prepared for a day of training. Meanwhile, just over a mile away from the front gate of the hidden leaf, Shikamaru Nara ran across the ground so fast even the legendary guy would have trouble keeping up with him. Beside him was Tala. We will spend a week in the leaf to gather supplies for the coming winter and have you reconnect with your pack, said Tala as they slowed down as the front gate of the hidden leaf came into view. Meanwhile, at that front gate, Ino sat at the sign-in table, checking in names of people who come through the main gate. She didn't even look up as a man walked up to her. Name? Asked Ino as she prepared to write down the name before checking the paperwork. Shikamaru Nara, said Shikamaru as Ino looked up to see her old teammate standing there. He had changed a lot. He was taller, like he had gone through a growth spurt. His green Jonin vest was gone. It was replaced by a dark gray armored vest. He had a knife on his shoulder angled down so the handle was just above his heart. He had yet another knife on the other at the rib line. Those 2 knives were not the end. Ino could see a handle of a knife sticking out from the top of his left shoulder from a holster on his back. He had a knife hanging on a new belt. He had on his ninja pants with yet another knife strapped on the side of his right thigh muscle, and finally another knife attached to the lower leg on the other side. He looked stronger, his muscles were bigger. You seem surprised that I am back, Ino, said Shikamaru. Kind of, I though you wouldn't be back for a while, said Ino. We need some winter supplies and he needs to bond with his home back, said a wolf as Ino was taken aback. You're a demon wolf, are you not? Asked Ino. Yes, said Tala, my name is Tala, I am training Shikamaru in the ways of demons wolves. Ino, we can't let a demon into the village, said a Chunin beside Ino. I don't see any rules saying we can't let them in, said Ino with a smile. All the rules say is that they have to sign in. With that, Shikamaru signed in as Tala used her tail to sign in herself. So how long are you back? Asked Ino. A week at the most, said Shikamaru. Okay, but we have to hang out at least once for old times, said Ino as Shikamaru headed into the village. That is when she saw the seventh knife located horizontally on the back of Shikamaru's hip. I should have known that Shikamaru would show up, said Ino as she went back to looking at the clock waiting for her shift to end. Temari and her brothers are in town. Shikamaru walked through the streets of the Leaf Village. Few people paid him any attention. They were so busy setting everything up for festival that no one really looks at him. A few noticed Tala, but thinking she was just a large Inuzuka ninja dog, they paid her no mind. Finally he reached the front door of his home. He knocked on the door only to hear his mom yell from inside. "Shikaku, get the door," ordered Yoshino Nara as Shikamaru heard his father's footsteps as he came to the door. Slowly he opened it and saw his son standing there. "Hello, father," said Shikamaru as Shikaku smiled. However, before he could say anything his wife appeared. "So you are finally back," said Yoshino as she glared at her son just like she always does. "Yeah, I am back, for a little while," said Shikamaru as he noticed his mom's eyes lighten just a bit. "Well, welcome home," said Yoshino as he and Tala entered the house. They walked into their living room as Shikamaru found his normal place on the couch. "So how are things here?" asked Shikamaru as his parents took their own seats. Same old," said Shikaku. "Cut to the point, how are you doing?" asked his mother. "I am good. Sore as hell from all the training my sensei Tala is making me do," said Shikamaru as he looked at the she-wolf sitting by the window. "So you're the one keeping my boy in line," said Yoshino. "Yes, Mrs. Nara, I am the demon wolf training your pup," said Tala. "However, I wouldn't say I am the only one keeping him in line. The bitch Temari comes around a lot." "Temari?" asked Yoshino as she looked at her son. "She is a girl, I know," said Shikamaru. "You must not like her if she is a bitch," said Yoshino. "It's a word play, dear. Bitch is a term for female," said Shikaku. "The demons must have different meanings for words." Tala called Shikamaru your pup, not your son. "So you do like this girl?" asked Yoshino as she looked at her son. "You just had to do this to me, didn't you?" asked Shikamaru as he looked at a grinning Tala. "It will be fun for me to watch," said Tala as she turned around to watch the show. "So, who is she?" demanded Yoshino as the fact that her son was gone for 4 months left her mind. Now she just wanted information on the woman who her son liked. Meanwhile, across town, Sakura was busy trying on the new weapon that Ferris has finished only a couple of days ago. It had taken him a long time to get everything working right. "So how does it feel, Sakura?" asked Ferris as the royal forger watched Sakura just look at her new equipment. "It's amazing, I had no idea you could make something like this," said Sakura as she looked at it. "The way it works is mind-blowing. That is why it took a while. Just be careful with them," said Ferris, "they are hard to fix." "I will, thank you," said Sakura as Ferris disappeared. Back at the Nara compound, Shikamaru was tired of listening to his mom drill for information about Temari. "Mom, why are you bugging me for this information? Go to the source," said Shikamaru as Yoshino looked at her son before deciding he was right and left the room. "Don't worry about her, son, she is just upset that you missed your 17th birthday, said Shikaku. Shikamaru nodded his head. He knew full well the 17th birthday meant to his clan. It was the age that he became a full voting member of the Interior Clan Council. It was also the age that he got one of the many small houses on the Nara compound. "Yeah, I know," said Shikamaru. "I hope you know what you're doing, son," said Shikaku as he turned to his attention back to another matter. "Pitting your mother against Temari would lead toward a battle for dominance that I don't know who would win." "Yeah, but it was bound to happen sometime," said Shikamaru. "Yeah, so how has your training been going?" asked Shikaku. "Good," said Shikamaru. "Good is an understatement," said Tala. "He is moving faster than I originally planned. In 4 months of hard work he has reached a level I thought would take him a year." "Good to hear," said Shikaku as he looked at his son. "So you're a knife wielder now?" "Yes," said Shikamaru as he reached up for one of his knives. He pulled it before handing it over to his dad. "Heavy," said Shikaku. "Demon wolf steel," strongest metal ever created, but it is very heavy and can only be made into short weapons or else the blade would be too heavy to use, said Tala. Impressive, said Shikaku. Just wait. You have not seen anything, said Tala as Shikamaru and Shikaku looked at the demon wolf. You didn't think we came here just for supplies and for you to back in touch with your pack. I want to test you on someone like you, a demon summoner, Naruto. An hour later Tsunade sat across from Gaara. His siblings were standing on either side of their brother and their leader. The news isn't good, the other Kages are not really with us, said Tsunade. Yes, the Raikage and Mizukage wants more information before doing anything. The Tsuchikage, blinded by rage from the Rock Leaf War, will not talk to us. At least some of the smaller villages are falling in line, said Gaara, however they are not that strong. Every little bit helps, but we need the other large nations on our side, said Tsunade as suddenly Shizune appeared in the doorway. Lady Hokage. What is it? Asked Tsunade. Well, I thought I would let you know that Shikamaru Nara has returned to the village, said Shizune as Tsunade noticed a slight smile on Temari. Good, I will have to see him, said Tsunade. That isn't all. It seems that Naruto is going to have a full go sparring season with Shikamaru at the Namikaze training ground, said Shizune. That would be interesting to see, said Kankura. It would tell us about how strong Naruto and Shikamaru have become, said Temari. I think that we hold this meeting and wait the session. Agreed, said Tsunade as she stood up. Hold on a second, said Gaara as they all looked at the young Kazekage. There is one more item I wish to talk about before going to the session. What? Asked Tsunade as she sat back down. One thing first, said Gaara as he looked at his sister. Temari, why don't you go and make sure they don't start until we get there? Sure, said Temari as she left the room. So what is it you want to talk about? Asked Tsunade. I believed we covered all parts of war that we can go over at the moment. This has nothing to do with the war, said Gaara, it's about Temari. Her and Shikamaru, said Tsunade as Gaara nodded his head. I may not like it, but it is clear she loves Shikamaru and it appears he loves her, said Kankura. As you know, in order to transfer one ninja to another village in marriage it requires both Kage to sign off on it, said Gaara. And you want to know if I will sign of it? Asked Tsunade. We are not there yet, but if the time should come, would you? Asked Gaara. Yes, I would, said Tsunade with a smile. Good, I want my sister to be happy and it would be bad for her to go all the way only to find out that they can't be together, said Gaara. Agreed. Now let's get going before Naruto and Shikamaru start without us, said Tsunade as the two Kages made their way out of the office and toward the Namikaze training ground. When they arrived, a small crowd had gathered around the training ground. The ground was really a large courtyard with a few trees around the edges by the outer walls. Niji and Tenten stood beside Ino and Choji on the right wall. Standing under a nearby tree was Kiba and Shino in the corner. Along the left side of the wall were Shikamaru's parents, Sakura's mother and the different sensei from the Rookie 12. However, Shikamaru's mother Yoshino wasn't looking at her son who stood in the center but instead Temari who stood on the north wall with Naruto, Katara and Saito. Tsunade had to do a double take when she saw Naruto on the sideline, however when she noticed that Sakura was in the center across from Shikamaru. They must have decided to have Shikamaru and Sakura go at it instead of Naruto and Shikamaru. Thought Tsunade as she noticed that Sakura had changed. Along both her arms from the elbow to the wrist were metal garters. She could make out images of foxes in the metal, however there was no sign of real weapons. The garters would be useful in defense, but what about attacking? Looks like everyone is here, said Sakura. Yeah, so you ready? Asked Shikamaru. Let's do this, said Sakura as suddenly both she and Shikamaru pulled kuniyas from their weapon pouches as they jumped away from each other. Let's do this, said Sakura as suddenly both she and Shikamaru pulled kuniyas from their weapon pouches as they jumped away from each other. Sakura's kunai was deflected off by one of Shikamaru's knives that he pulled quickly. Shikamaru's kunai also bounced, but this time off those new garters. Shikamaru ran though hand signs as lightning started dancing around Shikamaru. Almost no one knew what justice Shikamaru was using, but he had seen it before. When he finished his hand signs, lightning gathered at his fingertips. Lightning-style thunderbolt Justu, said Shikamaru as a bolt of lightning shoot out of each of his fingertips. Naruto couldn't help but smile as Sakura dodged the attack with ease. The bolts of lightning flew past Sakura before hitting an invisible chakra barrier that surrounded the field. However, Sakura didn't just dodge, she was running though hand signs herself. Water-style water bullet, said Sakura as she used her chakra to pull water out of the air before firing it across the field. Shikamaru rolled out of the way of the water. Impressive, both of those justice are upper-level Jonin Justu, stated Kakashi as Sakura charged forward to close the distance. To the surprise of all but Naruto, Sakura had gained a lot of speed. Even Shikamaru didn't have demon chakra eyes, he would never have seen Sakura coming. He quickly grabbed Sakura's incoming fist with his hand. His eyes widened as Sakura pulled back with her other fist. He just enough time to raise his second hand to block Sakura's next attack. However, the blow from Sakura's punches pushed him back almost to the barrier. Her strength hasn't gotten better, said Kankura as he watched Sakura try to pouch Shikamaru. Yes, it has, said Tsunade, it is just Shikamaru has gotten stronger too. But he can't last for long. Holy shit, she is strong, thought Shikamaru as he strained to hold Sakura back. Just a little bit more, thought Sakura as she tried to finish her attack. However, just then she noticed that she couldn't move. I guess I should say thanks for coming so close to me, said Shikamaru as Sakura noticed the shadow connecting the two of them. However, the strange thing was that the shadow took the form of a wolf with its claws on Sakura's feet. It made shadow position much easier. With that, he began backing up, which forced Sakura to back up. That shadow possession Justu is different, it isn't one of our clan's shadow possession Justu, said Shikaku. It is Shikamaru's own Justu, demon wolf shadow possession Justu, explained Tala. With demon chakra it holds is almost 500 times stronger than normal chakra. However, suddenly Sakura was engulfed in her own demon red chakra. The demon fox and the demon wolf chakra fought for control, and since Shikamaru was trying for control Sakura at a distance, he was having trouble. With one massive burst of chakra, Sakura was able to break free and charge forward again. However, instead of Sakura's fist, a long blade, maybe 6 or 7 inches long, shot out from Sakura's metal braces. They are not just braces, they're hidden blades, thought Shikamaru as he quickly weighted his option. Sakura had a speed advantage, she was too close for him to pull any of his knives in time to stop Sakura's attack. He was backed into a corner so he could roll out of the way, and that left him with just one option. A few years now, said Temari, I am the ambassador between the sand and your village. A very important position, said Yoshino. Yeah, being the daughter of the former Kazekage and older sister to the current one means a lot of duties, said Temari. So you're the older sister of the Kazekage, how much older? Asked Yoshino. You're wondering how much older I am compared to the little boy? Asked Temari as Yoshino nodded her head. You are very smart, I see, said Yoshino. Best military planner in the sand, my IQ is only a point behind Shikamaru. Also I am 18 and 3 months, stated Temari as she crossed her arms. Only a little bit over a year older than Shikamaru, said Yoshino. Makes sense, he always was the oldest one in his class. Now where were my manners? Why don't all 4 of us go out to eat? Sounds like fun, said Temari as the two of them started walking out of the training field side by side talking. My god, they are getting along, said Shikaku. We never considered what it would be like if they got along and worked together, said Shikamaru. He feared what it would be like if his mom and Temari were at war with each other, but the two of them getting along was worst. You two coming, ordered Temari as Shikamaru and his father looked up to see Temari and Yoshino glaring back at them with almost the same glare. A glare that they knew they had to follow. Troublesome, said both men as they followed them out. You can't do, yelled Haishir to the Hokage as he stood before his leader. Yes, I can, said Tsunade. It was the Namikaze's fall ball before the Kyuubi's attack, and then it became the 4th Hokage's ball. It is Naruto's right to come even if he wasn't a member of the council. I will not allow it, yelled Haishir, you dishonor the village by even letting the demon live, but to let him come to the most honorable ball in the village? It is unthinkable. Protest all you want, but it is pointless. The arrangements has been made. Besides, this event happens on top of the Hokage Tower, and as such I can approve all people who can come in, said Tsunade as Haishir glared at her. She was right, he could do anything. Besides, your own daughter is a demon summoner now. I do not consider that demon my daughter, said Haishir. Why am I not surprised, said Tsunade, however it doesn't change the fact that Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru, and if she decides to show up, your daughter will be welcome to the ball. You will regret this, Lady Tsunade, said Haishir as he stormed out of the room. Are you sure this was a wise move, Lady Hokage? Haishir is powerful and knows the law very well, said Shizun. Yes. Sakura and Naruto deserve to have at least one night when they can just be a normal couple, said Tsunade as she turned to look out the window. Before her the streets were already filling up as the day-long festival of the fourth Hokage's defeat of the Kyuubi started. Meanwhile, across town the Namikaze estate was on lockdown. Naruto had called on 12 more demon fox guards to protect his home. Sakura woke up early to set everything up, the perfect breakfast for Naruto's 17th birthday. She had gotten up, disabling the alarm clock so that Naruto could sleep in. Sakura was placing the last strip of bacon. Now she just had to wait on the final egg. However, just then Naruto walked out of the bedroom. Who turned off the alarm? Yawned Naruto. Damn it, Naruto, I am just about finished your breakfast, said Sakura as Naruto noticed an entire bowl full of broken egg shells and destroyed eggs from Sakura's attempts to cook. Why were you making me breakfast? Asked Naruto. Well, it is something my mom always did for me on my birthday, said Sakura. Ah, said Naruto, sorry Sakura-chan, but my birthday was never really that good. I know, but maybe we can change that, said Sakura, there is that dance later tonight. Are you sure it will be safe? The villagers are always after me today, said Naruto. Naruto, it is the Hokage Tower, there will be Anbu and Jonin everywhere, said Sakura, besides if necessary we can handle a few villagers. I guess. Maybe I am just being parroted, but this day has always been the worst day of the year for me, said Naruto as he took a bite out of the breakfast Sakura had made for him. Believe me, this will be your best birthday ever, and just you wait until you get your birthday present, said Sakura as Naruto stopped eating as Sakura felt a flash of fear in her boyfriend/mate. What? Sorry Sakura-chan, it's just the first and only birthday present I ever got, blew up in my face and I spent a week in the hospital, said Naruto. What happened? Asked Sakura. I was 5 and I woke up to find a present just outside my door, said Naruto, remembering the orphanage that he spent the first 6 years of his life until he moved out. I was so excited to finally got a present, but when I opened it a series of paper bombs went off. What? Asked Sakura. I almost lost my hand. The doctors had to sew my fingers back onto my hand, said Naruto as he looked at his right hand as Sakura's eyes widened. I didn't know at the time, but the Kyuubi healed my arm, letting regain its use. My god, some son of a bitch villager tried to blow up Naruto-kun when he was 5. Thought Sakura as her blood began to boil in rage toward the villagers and pity for her boyfriend. I am so sorry Naruto-kun, I can't imagine anything worse than being a kid and having that happen to you, said Sakura. It gets worse, said Naruto as Sakura looked to wondering how it could possibly get worse. By this time I was careful about what people gave me. The other kids had a tendency to give me candy, but they were really laxatives, so at first I didn't plan on opening it. Then why did you? Asked Sakura. Because, said Naruto as he looked down at the table. He could stop but hold back tears. Whoever did it wrote to Naruto from mom and dad. They lured me into a trap, but placing the one thing I wanted most in it. Sakura was speechless as she tried to find words to describe how much she wanted to kick the villager's ass and how much she wanted to comfort Naruto-kun. However, nothing sounded right. Finally she simply reached forward and touched Naruto's cheek. Naruto looked up into her eyes before she kissed him. Trust me Naruto-kun, this present will be good, said Sakura as Naruto pulled her into another kiss. However, just as their kiss started turning into a make-out session, the smoke alarm went off. They broke apart to see the last egg Sakura was making was smoking. I still need to get this cooking thing down, stated Sakura as she turned the burner off and dumped another burnt egg into the garbage. Here, let me help. One skill you learn when you live alone is how to cook, said Naruto. Across town, Shikamaru was busy setting up his small one-bedroom house he was given by his clan. It was tradition in the Nara clan at the age of 17 they would get a small house located on the clan compound. It was small, one bedroom, a living/dining room, a kitchen and a bathroom designed for a single person or a young couple to live in. Nothing different than if he had gotten a place elsewhere in the village. However, this meant he had to set the whole place up, even though he wasn't going to spend much time. Luckily, it mostly involved moving around the already furnished things. Suddenly a knock came from the door. Shikamaru slowly headed toward the door only to find Temari standing there. "Hello, little boy," said Temari. "Come on in," said Shikamaru as he stepped aside to let Temari into his living room. "Wow, 4 white walls, a couch, 2 chairs and a coffee table," said Temari. "You're a great home decorator." "Home decorating isn't my thing anyhow," said Shikamaru. "Besides, I will not be spending much time here, because of training." "True," said Temari. "Why are you here, Temari?" asked Shikamaru. "Well, because I have to go to this dance thing tonight because of my brother being the Kazekage, and you have to go because you're next in line for your clan. That we can go together?" asked Temari as Shikamaru's heart rate picked up. "You're asking me out?" asked Shikamaru as Temari nodded her head. "You are surprised that I would make the first move?" asked Temari. "Did you expect me to be one of those girls who wait for their man to come to them, or did you expect me to go out and get him?" "To make the first move," said Shikamaru. "So do you want to do this or not?" asked Temari. "Yes," said Shikamaru. "Alright, meet me at my hotel room at 5, ordered Temari as she placed a hand on Shikamaru's cheek, making him blush. "Also make sure you look nice, little boy." Around 4 that day, Sakura had just finished her shower. After drying her hair, she walked out into the bedroom to see Naruto. He was dressed in black pants, dress shoes and a white shirt. His black jacket was lying on the bed, however at the moment he was busy trying to figure out how to put on his tie. However, he was doing a very bad job at it. Sakura walked over and quickly started to get Naruto's tie in order. "Naruto-kun, you have fought some of the strongest ninjas in the world. You're a Jonin, a demon summoner, and yet you can't handle a simple tie?" asked Sakura as she finished the tie. "Never had one before, Sakura-kun," said Naruto as he put on his jacket and looked at himself. "I still think I look like an idiot." You don't, Naruto-kun," said Sakura. "You look handsome." "I'll take your word for it, Sakura-chan, but I feel stupid," said Naruto. "Believe me, now get out so that I can get dressed," ordered Sakura. "Okay, but I have seen you all natural before, Sakura-chan," said Naruto as he walked out. He would never understand that Sakura wanted to stun Naruto with her new dress. Later that evening, Tsunade sat at huge table on top of the Hokage's tower. She was forced by tradition to wear the full Hokage robes. As the massive street party raged on below them, the higher up of the Leaf Village came together in a black tie party on top of the Hokage's tower. Current and future clan leaders walked side by side with the biggest businessmen and the strongest ninjas. For the first time, the Kazekage had joined the event. That meant that on top of the higher-ups of the Leaf, the higher-ups of the Sand were there. She could already see Haishir talking to several council members, including Tsum, Choza and even Inoichi. All but Inoichi were grinning. "What are they planning?" thought Tsunade as she looked to her right to see Ino and Choji standing with Kiba. Kiba looked like he wanted to rip his suit, starting with his brown tie. Choji seemed more conformable, he even looked thinner in his suit. However, Ino looked stunning in her purple dress. Unknown to Tsunade, it was the same purple dress she had worn on the first date with Choji. However, she had added long purple gloves that went up to her elbows. She did stand out against the average middle to senior age women in their full cover dresses. "This place is so boring," said Ino as she watched the old man and women talk about politics and business. "Imagine it from my point of view. I don't even have a date," said Kiba as he noticed that Choji had his arms around Ino's hip. "Yeah, too bad that Hinata is gone," said Shikamaru as he walked up in his black suit, but she is doing it for the good of everyone. Well, at least I will have you to talk to, said Kiba, since neither one of us have dates. Who said I don't have a date? Asked Shikamaru as he looked to his right and smiled. The others turned to see Temari walking toward them dressed like none of them had seen before. She had on a light orange strapless dress showing her bare shoulders and a lot of cleavage. In the very front of the dress was a small V-cut showing even more cleavage. The silk dress hugged her side before losing up from the hips down. Like Ino, the dress had a cut to let her leg out. However, unlike Ino, who had bare legs, she had long fish netting coming off her heels. To add to the new look, she held a small person fan in her one hand. You and Temari? Asked Kiba. Yes, dog boy, said Temari with a slight grin as she walked up. Are you surprised that I would go out with the little boy here? A little, said Kiba as he noticed Shikamaru's eyes changed color for a little bit with demon chakra. Nice dress, Temari, said Ino as Ino started off about different fashion and Temari just stood there listening to it because it was better than listening to the older generation talk about opening new trade routes between the sand and the leaf. Hello guys, said Naruto's voice as he and Sakura walked up. Sakura, like the other girls, Sakura was dressed in her best, a long red dress held up by two straps allowing everyone to see her back all the way down to her shoulder blades. Her fox seal was clear as day to anyone. The front of the dress was a deep V cut. The dress hugged her body all the way down to her high heels. Tsunade couldn't help but smile as she noticed the younger generation standing around talking, laughing and enjoying themselves. For one night it seemed that they could forget about the demon war and just be normal 17 and 18-year-old kids. Alright everyone, please take your seats, said Haishir as he took his seat right beside Tsunade. Soon everyone took their seat. To Tsunade's slight anger, she noticed that Shikamaru, Temari, Naruto and Sakura were sent to the very back table. Haishir must have pulled strings and get Naruto and people didn't like away from him. Thought Tsunade as the food started being delivered to each table. However, tonight at least they will have a normal night. After a quick super where the four of them talked about everything that didn't have to do with the coming war. Sakura couldn't help but smile as the sound of music filled the air as she and Naruto just talked. It was so nice for the four of them to act like nothing was wrong. Suddenly the sound of a ringing glass filled the air as everyone's attention was brought to the Hokage. I would like to thank everyone for coming to the annual 4th Hokage Ball, said Tsunade. It is my honor this year to announce that for the first time the only son of the 4th Hokage, Naruto Namikaze, has joined us. Naruto, would you please stand? Naruto stood up as few people clapped, but most refused to clap or even look at Naruto. Now, since this is the Namikaze clan ball and most of the older generation like myself would rather sit and keep talking, why don't we have the younger generation enjoy the first dance, said Tsunade as the band who was hired to play for the event prepared. No one seemed to object as the younger generation, like the rookie 12 members who were there plus some of the other council level teens and young adults, took the large dance floor. Sakura had to partly drag Naruto to the dance floor. His training hadn't prepared Naruto for the dance floor, however he soon learned to follow Sakura's lead. However, his lack of skills wasn't unnoticed by Haishir, who had moved to the back of area of the Hokage Tower. The demon has proved that he is a lower-class scum that deserves to rot in the bottom hell, thought Haishir. He has no right to be among the noble members of the Leaf. Without knowing what Haishir was thinking, Sakura was in haven. She was in Naruto's arm on the dance floor. He was learning very fast some of the basic dance moves. Sakura couldn't help herself from smiling as she placed her head on Naruto's chest as they moved across the dance floor. As much as I hate to say it, they do look good together, said Tsum as she looked at Sakura nuzzled into Naruto's chest on as they danced. Let the demons have each other, said Haishir as he, Tsum and Choza stood near the back each with a glass of wine in their hands. We will take away what he really wants most. I am still not sure that the others will go with this, Haishir, said Choza. He is too inexperienced. We will need to play our right, that is for sure, but it is either that or let a demon or someone under the control of a demon into highest position in the Leaf, said Haishir. The others will break our way, they may provided lip serves to the Namikaze name but they don't want him in this village any more than us, said Tsum. Sadly there appears to be now law that we can kick him out with, said Haishir knowing that he wasn't likely going to get rid of the Namikaze any time soon. Still they sure as hell don't want him leading it, added Tsum as Choza nodded his head. Then it is settled. Tomorrow we begin moving toward picking the next Hokage and making sure that Naruto Namikaze never gets to wear the Hokage robes, said Haishir as he finished his glass of wine. Later that night when most of the older generation had gone to bed, the younger generation was still going strong. However, sooner than they would have liked, the last song was called. Strangely, Naruto and Sakura had left the song before. That meant that the last dance belonged to Shikamaru and Temari. This was nice, said Temari as the last song came to an end as a massive amount of fireworks shot into the air. Yeah, and I am sorry if this is wrong, said Shikamaru as Temari looked up at him confused. However, her answer came when Shikamaru leaned down and kissed Temari as fireworks flew overhead. All the worry that Shikamaru had that Temari would hurt him for kissing her disappeared when she started kissing her back. About time that happened, said Ino as she and Choji stood by the exit. I wondered why Sakura and Naruto left before us. I thought she would want to stay till the end, asked Choji as Ino grinned. What? Let's just say Sakura has a present for Naruto and she wants to give it to him, said Ino. What? Asked Choji. Let's just say I helped Sakura pick out a set of sexy lingerie, said Ino as Choji grinned. I see, said Choji with a small blush. Wait, you said pair? There are more uses for shadow clones than just combat, Choji-kun, said Ino as Choji tried not to imagine what Naruto and Sakura were doing. I hope they remember to use protection, said Choji. Can you imagine little Naruto's running around? I wouldn't worry about that right now, Choji, said Ino. However, 9 months after the festival is when the highest percentage of babies are born in the leaf. Winter had come and gone, replaced by spring. Sakura woke up on the day after her 18th birthday. Her 17-year-old boyfriend Naruto had treated her like a princess yesterday, but right now all she wanted to do was to get back to training. She still hadn't mastered Sage mode, but she could now stay in Sage form for 5 minutes. Naruto's new record was almost an hour and a half in Sage mode. She had learned a lot about water justice and she just felt stronger than she had ever felt in her life. It was strange, their lives had fallen into a sort of routine of training, resting, eating, sleeping and having sex. You ready for another day of training, Sakura-chan? Asked Naruto as he walked up behind Sakura as she made some toast. You sound like Lee there, Naruto-kun, laughed Sakura. Speaking of old bushy brow, where is he? I haven't seen him in a long time, asked Naruto as Sakura felt a little guilty for not telling Naruto-kun about her conformation with Lee. Lee is working though some things, Naruto-kun. He is having trouble accepting the fact that I am with you, answered Sakura. Alright, said Naruto. Elsewhere in the village, Tsunade sat behind her desk in the Hokage's office. Suddenly a knocking sound came from the door. Enter, said Tsunade as the door opened as Ino walked in. You wanted to see me, Lady Hokage? Asked Ino as Tsunade placed down her paperwork. Yes, said Tsunade, as you know, I am one of the legendary Sannin. Yes, Lady Hokage, said Ino, you're the slug Sannin, Jiraiya is the toad Sannin and Orochimaru is the snake Sannin. Correct. Now originally I had planned for Sakura to take over the role of holder of the slug contract, but that can't happen now, said Tsunade. Since she has the demon fox contract, said Ino as Tsunade nodded her head. This has caused me to look for another person to take up the role of the slug contract when I am gone, said Tsunade, and that is you. For a moment Ino just looked at the Hokage stunned. Me? Asked Ino. Yes, I have been watching you take more roles in the hospital since Sakura was forced out by the bigotry of the villagers, said Tsunade. You have proven yourself capable and hard-working. I have to inform you, Lady Hokage, I don't really like some of the stuff I have to do, said Ino. Do you think I like all the stuff I have to do? Said Tsunade as she looked at the huge box of paperwork she still had to do from yesterday. But we do the work we have too. I guess, I may not say this in front of Forehead, but she is way better than me in medical gestures, said Ino as Tsunade smiled. Don't worry Ino, I think Sakura may be better than me now, said Tsunade as Ino looked at the Hokage, stunned to hear that the legendary medical ninja Tsunade would say that someone is better than her. However, that isn't important. In this coming war we will all need to be stronger, and you have potential to be a great kunoichi. If you are willing to take up the challenge. I am willing to take up the challenge, Lady Hokage, said Ino as Tsunade smiled. Good, we will start tomorrow morning, said Tsunade. Why not today? Asked Ino. I wish I could, but some council members wishes to speak to me today, explained Tsunade. I will see you tomorrow then, Lady Hokage, said Ino as she left the office. You can come out now, you old pervert, ordered Tsunade as Jiraiya appeared from behind some fake curtain that blended into the wall that he was holding up. Still as good as always, said Jiraiya. I thought you were still training, said Tsunade, trying to master Sage Mode. Well, looks like I'm even more amazing than even I thought, said Jiraiya as Tsunade noticed that Jiraiya's eyes were different. They were golden with rectangle-like irises with orange markings above his eyes. Well, it is amazing what you can do when you're not spending most of your time looking at women, said Tsunade, but I thought you needed those two toads on you to be in Sage Mode. Yeah, but I took something from Naruto's playbook and used a clone at Mount Mayaboku, said Jiraiya. It stays still and let me call upon Sage Mode when I need it. Maybe you are not as dumb as I believed, said Tsunade, so what are you going to do now? I am going to take a page out of your book. I am going to find a student of my own to train, said Jiraiya as Tsunade leaned back in her chair. I guess that makes sense, we both did lose our students, Sakura for me and Naruto for you, said Tsunade. Yeah, however I am not sure who would be best for me, said Jiraiya as he let Sage Mode go and returned to normal. I have an idea, but it means you will likely have to stay around here for a bit, said Tsunade. Ah, so you are trying to keep me around? Asked Jiraiya as Tsunade just glared at her old teammate. No, because I know someone who would hurt you if you took her boyfriend away, said Tsunade. Alright, who do you think I should take as my student? Asked Jiraiya. Choji Akimichi, said Tsunade as Jiraiya looked at her. He is the boyfriend of my new student. Elsewhere in the world, Shikamaru walked toward the main gates of the Sand Village. Paying your bitch a visit? Asked Tala. I wish you wouldn't call her that, but yes, said Shikamaru, I want to see her and I want a change of scenery from the mountains. I guess training in the desert is almost as hard as training in mountains, said Tala as Shikamaru noticed that Temari was by the main gate welcoming what looked like visitors from Iwagakure, better known as the village hidden in stone. It was a large group, with many Jonin guards all surrounding one old man with a white mustache and a small white breed. He had seen him before in photos. This was Inoki, the third Tsuchikage of Iwagakure. I thank you for coming, Lord Tsuchikage, said Temari. I came at the request of the Kazekage, and the sooner I leave the better, said Inoki. Lord Tsuchikage, yelled a Jonin guard as they turned their attention toward Shikamaru. Shikamaru? Asked Temari. Leaf Ninja, growled Inoki before turning to Tsunade. I thought we had a deal, no Leaf Ninja in your village while I am visiting. I am sorry, Lord Tsuchikage, I was away training so I wasn't aware. I will get some supplies and leave by nightfall if you wish, said Shikamaru. Wait, Lord Tsuchikage, you came here to talk to our Kage about the demon war, said Temari. Shikamaru is a demon summoner, he could show you the real threat of the demon war. Inoki glared at Shikamaru as if debating if he should stay or go. Very well, said Inoki. Back in the Leaf, Naruto was in a secret meeting with leaders of the outlying 9th district, the poorest district in the Leaf. So how is everything going? Asked Naruto as they meet in the back room of one of the new restaurants that were started up with funds from Naruto. Great, the new roads should be done within 2 weeks, but already the new and water systems have improved life here, said a local leader. Mr. Namikaze, said a leader as Naruto looked at the man. He wasn't used to being called Mr. Namikaze. I wish you would come out of the shadows and just tell everyone what you are doing to help our community. I wish I could, but forces would turn against us and work toward undoing everything we have worked for here, said Naruto. If you are worried about the people, don't be. In this district it is an open secret who is behind all the improvements, said a local leader. The people know it is you and they love you here. I know. This district may be the only place where I am actually liked, said Naruto. However, if the other district knew what I was doing, they would turn against the district. That is nothing compared to what Haishur Hyuga would do. That stuck-up elitist can go to hell, said another leader. He never paid attention to us, so he can't hurt us. Never underestimate Haishur Hyuga. I may have contained him on the political field, but he hasn't made a move in a while, and that means he is planning something, said Naruto. Unknown to him, across town Haishur was making his move. He, Tsum and Choza stood before Tsunade. What do you and your allies want, Haishur? Asked Tsunade. Lady Hokage, since there appears to be no way to prevent this war brought onto us by the demons, said Haishur as Tsunade glared at him. We need to prepare for the worst. If you are worried about the villagers, don't be. We have already begun new bunkers and expanding the old ones, said Tsunade, knowing full well that the bunkers were more of a security blanket than anything else and not capable of providing a real defense. That isn't what we are talking about. We are talking about training a new Hokage, said Haishur as Tsunade looked at them. What? Asked Tsunade. In a war when you will likely be at the front line, a new Hokage needs to be ready to take the lead if you should fall in combat, said Tsum as Tsunade leaned back in her chair. As much as she would hate to admit it, they were right. She didn't want the village to be without a leader. And you have a few people in mind, don't you? Asked Tsunade. We have created a short list of a person who we feel would be best suited for the role of the Hokage, said Haishur. Let me guess, you Haishur? Asked Tsunade. No, I am best used to lead the council, said Haishur. However, there is a person we feel we have come up with. Haishur handed over a pile of paperwork, the files on the person they had on mind. Choji? Asked Tsunade. Yes, an up-and-coming ninja, said Tsum. He is a chunin with not that much in actual combat experiences, said Tsunade, so I have to ask why Choji when ninja's actual combat experience are left out? We feel it is time for a newer generation to take the lead, said Haishur. A generation you can control, you mean, said Tsunade. Choji is the son of clans that are long supporters of the Hyuga clan. Is that a problem? Asked Haishur. The Hokage should be above the politics as much as possible, said Tsunade, and sorry but I don't think at this moment Choji is right for the Hokage seat, maybe later if he decides to take Jiraiya's deal. What are you talking about? Asked Choza. Jiraiya is thinking about taking Choza as his student, said Tsunade. More of a reason for him to take the role as Hokage if you should fall in battle, said Haishur. No. Sorry but my short list for Hokage is only one name, said Tsunade, Naruto Namikaze. Please use your brains, Lady Tsunade. We the villagers will never follow a demon or anyone who is a demon, said Tsum. So it finally becomes clear, you choose Choji because he is someone you think is controllable and has no links to any demon summoners. He isn't one or dating one, said Tsunade. Also the fact that you may get a Noichi vote because of Ino. She figured it out, thought Haishur. So will you take our offer? Asked Haishur. I will take it under advisement, but I don't think Choji is right for Hokage chair, said Tsunade. Be warned, Tsunade, if you try to get the demon the Hokage seat, the village will break out in violence if not civil war, stated Haishur as he and the others left the Hokage's office. I really hate politics, thought Tsunade. Across the world in the sand village, Inoki sat at a large table with Gaara across from him and Shikamaru at the far end of the table. The rock ninjas were on high alert. Ever since the Leaf Rock War they had been training with the idea of that the Leaf Village was their primary enemy. So you're telling me that these 6 demon lords are going to war with each other and our world is their battleground, said Inoki. Yes, they are going to begin their war where the last one ended, near the mountain range that marks the border between the land of fire and the land of earth, said Gaara. The war is going to happen on your doorstep. And you think that we would just believe these fairy tales? Asked Inoki. It is clear to me that the Leaf Village is luring our forces into a trap and then destroy us. Do you really think we would do all this just to get an upper hand in military terms? Asked Shikamaru. Of course the Leaf is always out to get revenge against us, and without their yellow flash Minato Namikaze they need to do underhanded tactics to win, said Inoki as he stood up. Minato has a son. said Shikamaru as Inoki's eyes widened as he turned to look at Shikamaru. Minato Namikaze has a son. You lie, he was never married, said Inoki. He hid his marriage so that you wouldn't go after his family, said Shikamaru. However, his son is now full grown, knows the Thunder God technical, and that is on top of the fact that he holds the summoning contract with Kyubi the nine-tailed fox. He could destroy your entire village in a single night if he felt like it. What is Shikamaru-kun doing? Thought Temari as she watched Demon Chakra dance around Shikamaru. Then again, I could now too, said Shikamaru. Now think about this. There are 4 demon summoners on our side, all from the leaf. We have 3 demon lords, each as strong as the Kyubi, able to summon into battle, and 2 people who can summon the Kyubi themselves. So why would we trick you? We have the power to flat out destroy you in a straight up war. He is showing his hand and saying that they are telling the truth, thought Temari. And we are asking for your help. So imagine what we are up against and what the human race is up against, said Shikamaru. This coming war will affect everyone, you can't hide from it and you can't run from it. What would you have us do? Asked Inoki. You have to join us on the battlefield like all the other nations, or else it will all be killed, said Shikamaru. We'll think about it, said Inoki as he left the room. Nice one, Shikamaru, you scared him off, yelled Kankura. And that is what he needed, said Temari as her brother looked at her. He needed to know how powerful the leaf had become so that he could begin to imagine what could be so bad that even the leaf would be calling out for help. Wouldn't that scare them away? Asked Kankura as Temari shook her head. If it was the Mist or Cloud village maybe, but Rock is a military village and they love to fight, they will want to stand and fight, said Temari. Agreed, said Gaara before he looked at Shikamaru. The supplies you have requested have been gathered and are waiting for you. I am sorry that I am making you leave, but the Tsuchikage is forcing my hand. Thanks, Gaara, said Shikamaru as he stood up and left the room. An hour later, Shikamaru stood by the main gate about to leave when he noticed Temari standing just on the other side of the wall waiting. What are you doing here? Asked Shikamaru. Well, I thought you could use a guide for the desert, said Temari as she stopped leaning against the wall, so I asked Gaara if I could help you out. I will be gone for around 4 months, said Shikamaru. That is why I packed for 6 months, said Temari with a grin. Troublesome woman, said Shikamaru, as if I could stop you from coming along. Which you can't, said Temari. So let's get going, said Shikamaru. Shikamaru lied on a soft mat with his head in his pillow. The newly risen desert sun poked its way between the folds of the tent. It was already 85 degrees Fahrenheit, but he knew it would be over 100 by noon. After 3 months in the desert, he could simply tell that it was going to be one of those days. Flashback. Come on, little boy, I thought you were running up those mountains every day, asked Temari as she stood on top of a huge sand dune. In fact, it was the largest sand dune in Wind Country and in the world. Shikamaru was having trouble climbing. His feet would sink into the sand, causing him to slide backwards. Her years of living in the sand had taught her how to work in the environment. However, she was impressed by how Shikamaru was doing. Most ninjas who were not from the sand would never be able to climb this sand dune, and yet Shikamaru was able to climb, if at a slower rate. You know very well that sand and solid rock are 2 very different things, said Shikamaru. Besides, I am carrying all the gear for both of us. I know, but it is your training session, not mine, said Temari as Shikamaru worked his way to the top. Shikamaru stopped and looked at what was before him. So do you like the spot I picked? There before Shikamaru's eyes was a desert oasis, a clear blue pool of water bubbling up from a large rock, making a small waterfall. Surrounding the water were patches of grass and large palm trees. There was a line of what he guessed to be berries and what looked like an apple tree. Yeah, said Shikamaru. There is fresh fruit and water, said Temari. Also, there is a group of fish in the water. It will let our food supplies last longer, said Shikamaru. Yeah, said Temari. Also, if you look to the north, you will see Sun Rock. Shikamaru looked to the north to see a large sandstone rock taller than the sand dune they were on. A great place to train when the stones are not so hot that they burn your skin on contact, said Temari. Don't worry, with demon healing all burns will heal, said Tala as she appeared. I must admit, while this isn't my first pick for a training spot, just by looking around I can see multiple ways to make your training better, said Tala. End flashback. And Tala did find ways to cause pain, like medication on Sun Rock at high noon when the rock he was sitting on seemed hotter than the sun, running up and down the sand dunes while getting different wind attacks from both Temari and Tala. Since both of them are wind chakra type, Tala now had 2 students. However, she couldn't teach Temari all her demon chakra wind attacks because of the differences between normal and demon chakra. That didn't stop Temari from learning new justice. However, not everything was training. Flashback. Shikamaru sat outside his tent on one of his rare days off, mainly because the current temperature was hovering around 115 F. He was trying not to burn up in the sun. He was considering going for a swim, but at the moment he was too busy enjoying the show. Temari stood in front of her tent dressed in a white sweat-soaked sports bra and tan shorts. She was moving her large fan around, practicing different moves. However, to Shikamaru it looked like a strange but beautiful dance. Damn, thought Shikamaru as he looked at Temari's body as best as possible without getting caught. The sweat stuck to her white top, making like a wet t-shirt contest, and the tight shorts were almost too much for his 17-year-old body to take. There before him was the hottest woman he had ever seen. Enjoyed the show, Shikamaru? Asked Temari as she stopped her training and snapped her fan shut. Crap. Thought Shikamaru with a blush as Temari grinned. Slowly she walked toward Shikamaru, then she leaned forward. Don't feel bad that I caught you, little boy, said Temari before she moved toward his ear. Just feel bad you haven't caught me during the times I checked you out. End flashback. What a troublesome woman, thought Shikamaru as he just lied there. Slowly he raised his head but refused to move anymore. He waited a few moments before he fleet hot breath on his ear, as a hand that wasn't his own started to play with his sweat-soaked hair. Why am I not surprised you ended up on top? Asked Shikamaru as he felt a chuckle. Because, big boy, you know that in the end I always win, said Temari as she lied on Shikamaru's back, her one hand playing with Shikamaru's hair. You may win a game or two, but in the end I always get my prize. Sometimes I ask myself why I love you, said Shikamaru. Because you just do, answered Temari. Yeah, love, what a drag, answered Shikamaru as he turned his head around and kissed Temari again. Meanwhile, on the edge of the oasis, Tala sat trying to ignore the sounds coming from the camp. Maybe I'll give them the morning off, thought Tala, they should be pretty sure today.